Greetings and welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim. I use he/him pronouns. And this is our campaign of Masks set in the fictional city of Doctropolis. Masks is a game by Brendan Conway and is powered by the Apocalypse. I am playing Null the Beacon, who also uses he/him pronouns. And we'll go around, and again, I do this different every time. This week, let's start with, as we do our intros, we'll start with Wally. Hello.
Hello. My name is Wally. I go by he/him pronouns. I play Phobos, the protege, who also goes by he/him pronouns.
Excellent. And now let us head over to Thtrnerd. Hello.
Hi, my name is Thtrnerd. I use they, them pronouns just to make things interesting. My character uses she, her. And her name is Mika, or Black Raven. And I think this is going to be an emotional episode, at least for me today.
It very well might be. Let's continue around and say hi to Kat. Hello.
Hi, I have to unmute myself. I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Court, and I am playing Meta Warp, also known as Chris. She is the Nova playbook, and she may have gone Nova last week. Oops.
The aptly named playbook.
Hey, the city survived. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
It really could have gone worse than it did.
Yeah, the city's all right for now. We're good.
I mean, I got knocked out a window. Speak for yourselves, guys.
And now let's head over. Hi, Pepper.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pepper. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at mebethem4815. And I play Puck, who uses they, them pronouns too. And they are the delinquent of the group.
Excellent. And finally, let us go ahead and hand things over to our GM, Mole. Hello.
I'd just like to say that functionally, you're all the delinquent.
Fair.
That is very fair.
I mean, to be fair,
Pepper's just playing the actual playbook.
to be fair, the most non-delinquent one is Null.
Yeah.
Everyone in the group probably, if there was a take a penny, leave a penny jar, everyone will has their own way of taking a penny. Null is like, guys, come on, just dumps all pennies back in there.
Yeah,
That's why your big jingles. I get it now.
He makes up for that by hacking into government cameras and databases and things like that.
Meta Warp's like, ooh, copper.
Doing the stuff that is most directly illegal.
It's like Phobos takes the penny because he wants exact change. Mika and Puck do it because hey, it's there, they're gonna do it. Meta Warp is like, hey, copper, sweet.
Yes, I'm Mole at Molthulu. I play everyone else.
I
just love the long pause.
It was the intense stare that got me.
It was the intense stare
right now.
It was so intense.
Yeah. So, the group have been anticipating this moment because I let it drop a couple of little teasers. But the cover. Issue 4. A Mother's Love. A singular large image makes the cover of this issue. It is an office with a large ornate wooden desk behind which stands an ostentatious chair, almost throne-like in its appearance. On the desk and in front are piles and piles of cash and guns. By the chair is a large set woman wearing a dark red suit with black lapels. Her hair flows down untied and is an obviously dyed red in colour. Her face has a psychotic, unhinged look of glee upon it as she leans from the chair onto the desk laughing, plunging a dagger into the desk in front of her. Behind the desk are windows which overlook the city of New Eden, its silhouette ablaze as every building is on fire. At the bottom of the page reads, "Introducing Ember Hutchinson."
I called it!
Yo! I just got goosebumps.
I have to say,
The worst.
gosh.
when I dropped the first hint, okay, Pepper nailed who was. But the hint was that there was a single person on the cover. In Discord, Pepper nailed who the person was, and in the conversation in Zoom before we came online, most people had a guess of what they thought the cover was going to be, and Pepper was almost right.
Twice. I just didn't expect them to be so like imposing. Oh my gosh!
Good
I
job
love
at
the
reading
description.
the DM's mind.
I'm just a little
forget
concerned
that-
about all the buildings being on fire. That seems
Yeah.
like that might be a
Yeah,
problem.
I didn't expect.
I didn't expect that.
Fight Club.
I mean, with a name like Ember, though, it makes sense that
Yeah.
she has control over fire, which is kind of funny considering Mika's powers are water.
Oh man, that was great.
Oh, it's almost like the DM thought about that, did it deliberately?
Hey!
Wow. How strange.
But yeah, it's like many comic book covers. The comic book cover gives you a hint at things. It doesn't necessarily show things completely accurately as to what's going to happen inside. So, if I remember correctly, you were all headed back to the subway. Metalwarp was already there with Magna Carta in the med bay, had just blown up the kitchen. Well, the table in the middle of the kitchen, which had most of the stuff that belongs in the kitchen stacked on top of it because of Martin. That's been blown up. So we'll pick things
And
up.
tried to throw Martin down. She tried to grab Martin and crush him, and he ran
Yeah,
away.
but Martin legged
It ran
it.
away.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't even get to meet him. I didn't get to meet her new toy.
Hashtag save Martin. So yeah, we'll pick things up as the rest of you get back to the subway, and you can see the destroyed kitchen area, which is on the main platform area, not inside the subway, the cars.
I'm not back yet. I have things I want to do before I go
Back
back.
yet?
So it's just Puck arriving at the subway?
Yeah, I think so. I know. Wait. Is Phobos was parking the bike, so they came back together.
Yeah, because Phobos and Puck got the same bike.
Yeah.
Station in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're coming back into the subway.
Where's Skylar?
Yeah, where is Skylar?
That's a great question. Because I know he was coming back from something later than anyone else, and I can't remember what it was. Oh yes, that's right. Because he stayed a little bit with Black Raven to talk before heading
So
back.
you're probably
taking a bike
you're only
back.
a few minutes behind.
Yeah. So he was heading back to the place.
Actually, the way timing works out, you had the conversation at the other end. They had the conversation once they got back. So you'd probably be pulling up just as they'd finished their conversation.
Yeah. So that would probably have been like timing wise, because we pulled into the garage. We had our conversation. So Skylar was like a couple minutes behind us. Right when we finished, Skylar will be pulling in.
Yeah.
So the three of you would be together.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a question. When you hacked the trooper's van, did you sit down and use the actual computer, or did you use your tech to hack into it? Pepper.
I use my tech.
Okay, cool.
All right. So because Phobos is on the bike with Puck, and he looks over at Skylar
We're pulling in.
coming in on their bike, and he sits up. And he like lets out like this sigh of just kind of like someone who's had like a really, really long day. Like he sounds like a sigh of defeat, but he just doesn't want to like. He knows he's gonna have to go back into it, so he doesn't want to like outright give up.
Is he Phobos armor or is he not?
He's sitting up, so now like the armor is like peeling back off into the metallic on his body, so he's looking back in his normal clothes.
Okay, Puck is just going to casually reach up and start massaging his shoulders. Take it easy, Cher, okay?
Thank you.
Hey, I'm gonna go change.
Right.
A little bit, because I just started getting up and leaving because like his trousers are probably singed because of the thing, possibly the bottom of his coat. I'm not sure. I think he's gonna try to swap out to something else.
Skylar.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder who's got a drive to get a new uniform.
Skylar.
I wonder.
Thanks.
I mean, just do what any of the rest of you do.
No, I mean, thanks. You're just really good at this.
There's a thing on my sheet. Hold on. And he just sort of stops for a second. I mean, well, you kidding? You guys are awesome. I mean, that's that. I think that whole thing in there could have ended a lot worse if you hadn't been there.
I agree. It could have ended incredibly worse. We could have all died. Blue Line is no laughing matter. But you did really good out there, and so thanks, for just being there.
Well, I thought you were gonna have a little trouble getting rid of me before.
You know what?
No, why would I get rid of you? I don't understand.
Oh no, that was a joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Ha!
I got a sort of, my coat's kind of a little messed up. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna dig and see if I can find something. I'll be. You guys gonna be okay? I'm just gonna. Black Raven has a comm now. I give her another comm, so she's back in.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I'm gonna
Good.
just get something to be slightly less burned look. If you guys gonna be okay? You okay?
We'll be fine, honey.
Okay.
Yes, I'll be fine.
All right. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if Martin's done with that diagnostic, and I'm gonna run inside.
Oh God, this is gonna be so wonderful.
I do want to just briefly mention my team move to Mulholland.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
that I've already put the 2 team.
I'm just
the
wondering
pool
if that
because
counts.
counted. Yeah, that's what I was going. Yeah, waiting for you to finish was that. That all counts as the Beacon's team celebration move, which basically gets you 2 team more in the pool.
Yay!
Nice. I look back at Puck and I go, "Are you good?"
I'm worried about Mika, and I'm worried about the team. So it depends on what you mean by good.
Well, as in, I don't know. I suppose. Are your head and heart, or how you put it, soul in the right place?
Now that is a difficult question to answer. I don't quite know myself.
I'm not really sure myself either, but I think I'm pretty good at faking it until now. Keep the stiff upper lip and all.
See, I know what I'm good at, and I know what makes me feel good. So I'm going to do what I know that I'm good at, which happens to be helping to take care of other people,
Oh,
including our team.
well, you do that then. I trust you and your skills in that.
And that's the first time someone like you has ever told me they trust in me.
Well, I do trust you. I trust you, and I trust everyone here on this team. Maybe some more than others, I suppose, but I do have a degree of trust for everyone here.
Let's hope that don't backfire, yeah?
Right. Yes. Let's hope not. And he like gives Puck like a nod and does like a weird robotic like pat on the shoulder, like Miles did it when he first met Gwen. He's like,
So
it's like, does Puck say that to him?
no. Puck just reaches up and gently pats his hand.
Good. All right. Let's go join the rest of the team. And he'll head his way into the subway.
Do we
Okay.
notice that the kitchen is utterly destroyed?
Oh, it is hard not to see. The cabinets and the appliances and all that sort of stuff are still functional and thing, but they're dirty as everything. Because basically, a load of the crockery, a load of the food, and all that sort of stuff had been stacked up on the table, and it was that pile that had been exploded. So the table that was in the middle of the kitchen is gone, and then there's bits of food and crockery and stuff everywhere, blasted out.
Is Chris in the room?
Chris is wherever our medical type setup would be, still in costume, and has actually managed to find a domino mask that they're wearing, and they're looking after MetaWarp. They've got them hooked up to whatever monitoring system, and completely ignoring the kitchen like it hasn't even happened.
Yeah, that would be the other end of the platform. Basically, one end is the more living space type area. That's the areas you first come in, and the other end is where you've got training area, medical bay, etc., etc., etc.
They've got their back to that area, and they're focusing on Magna Carta.
Puck is going to immediately make a beeline over to MetaWarp and just gently put a hand on their shoulder. What help do you need?
Done. Fine. They're exhausted, probably a little malnourished, maybe dehydrated. We're kind of limited here on what we can do medically, just monitoring them, waiting for them to wake up. Once they sleep off some of the exhaustion, we'll need to get them some food and some liquids, and they should be fine.
How are you doing?
Fine.
Does Puck know what that MetaWarp happened to the kitchen? Because Pepper knows, but does Puck know?
I don't think anybody does, unless it was on CCTV and they go back and review the footage.
That's the only way you're going to know for sure. But given that there's no security alerts and all that sort of stuff that have gone off, it has to have been somebody that's allowed to be here by the security to have done it. That's the only thing other than checking the security that you'd be able to get from it.
So, honey, what happened to the kitchen? Out of curiosity, I'm just wondering.
I don't know.
You can talk to me. It's all right.
Nothing to talk about.
So it's totally normal for people to just walk in and find our kitchen topsy-turvy.
I may have thrown a glass a little harder than I intended.
And you're sure everything's all right?
Well, yeah. I mean, wait, where's Mika? Where's Skylar?
Skylar's getting changed. Poor boy got his coat all singed. Zeke's probably doing whatever Ezekiel does in his spare time, and Mika's gone off and she's doing what Mika does in his spare time. I'm checking in on you.
As long as they're all right. I mean, we have a lot of stuff to get through. There's a lot. God, there's so much going on. What the fuck was Blue Line doing there?
I have no idea.
I tried to get a hold of my dad. I'm sorry. I tried to get a hold of Ronan to let him know that Magna Carta was back, but he wasn't answering. It went over to, it's not exactly voicemail, but that's not good. If he's not picking up when I call, that means shit's going down somewhere. Haven't really had a chance to do much of a search on it because I was watching over her, get her hooked up, and but we might want to see what else is going on in the city.
I was going to take a peek in on the police files later today, see what's going on with Blue Line and why they were there to begin with.
Yeah, well, we might want to do that sooner rather than later. I'll keep trying to get a hold of Ronan, but something else is going down, and it's probably not going to be good.
Yeah, I agree with you. Something's fishy, and I don't like it.
Yeah, we're stretched pretty thin right now. There's too much going on, too many unanswered questions.
Also makes me wondering if this is related to the heroes going missing anyway.
Well, I think with Magna Carta, I think we're all right. I mean, usually that's what happens when they legacy is they will disappear for a while, and then the new one will show up, kind of like needing to get trained, finding a replacement, getting them trained up to at least start. So Magna Carta is back. Going to be a while before they're in the kind of condition that they really need to be who they were, who they are, who we need them to be.
And you're capable of looking after them until they're ready to go off on their own?
Yeah, Dad used to come back beat up sometimes. I've watched over Dad before. Again,
I'm sorry, honey.
We're kind of short medical wise here as far as skills and abilities go, but doesn't seem to be anything lasting or too major going on here. Just exhaustion. Like I said, maybe a little malnutrition, a little dehydration. They'll be all right.
All right. Well, you let me know if anything happens, all right? Let me know if they wake up.
All right. Hey, I need to grab my tablet. I was figure if I'm going to be sitting here, I might as well get to working on some stuff. I'll be right back. If you could just keep an eye on her for a minute. And
Yeah.
Chris is kind of all right. Yeah, I'll be right back. And goes back to her room, grabs her tablet, tries to get a hold of her dad one more time. Leaves a message along the lines of, Magna Carta's back. I really need to talk to you. Thin blue line. There's shit going down. Stay safe, please, Dad. And then she's back in a very reasonable amount of time.
Cool. Puck just keeps an eye on Magna Carta. Starts eyeing the mess in the kitchen and wondering how best to tackle it.
After just a couple of minutes, Chris gets a text message. It basically says, apartment building fire, just finishing up getting people out. I'll see you a little later. It's from your dad.
Okay. Nothing about Magna Carta then?
You get the impression he did the text fast because,
Okay.
Can I ask a question or make a comment? Would this be the time that Chris saw the text message from Mika that said, my mom put a hit out on me?
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Or my mom
Nobody-
wants me dead? I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
There's a difference.
well, yes and no.
Okay. So yeah, she would have and then she would have seen the second test. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. And she just holds up the tablet to Puck so Puck can see it.
Puck would have already seen it. I thought you said you had your comm piece off last
No,
night.
it was on. She just wasn't.
Oh, was ignoring it. Okay.
Yeah, she was just
Sorry.
wasn't checking texts until the one came through from her dad. Fuck. Why did she? Mika's not.
Ember
Get
ain't
back,
exactly
and
the
she
best
sends-
sort of mama.
Sends a text to Mika. Get back here ASAP. Not safe alone. We can help. We will help. And then hit send.
You just get a thumbs up emoji from Mika.
Puck is going to pull Chris into a hug, kiss her cheek, and then head over into the kitchen and just take off their heels and start putting stuff away and cleaning up as best as they can.
Okay, so what's Mika doing?
Mika is going to go to Moore's, which I know will shock a bunch of people. But I wanted to ask you, does she have like a direct line of communication where she could call him individually without calling the rest of the group?
You better you've got a line which will put you through to his AI assistant, which he constantly monitors. So if he decides to pick up, he can pick up.
Okay, well, she'll call him. She's probably on the way to Moore Tower, but this is more of a like probe to see if he's actually there. And once the AI assistant answers, Moore, you better pick up the phone right now. I know it's unlike me to want to ask for your help, but I really need your help right now. I'm sorry for all the shitty things I said about you.
Okay, you've got my attention.
So my mom wants me dead, and I want to show her that I'm not scared, even though I'm scared. And I'd like to do a press conference.
Okay. To say what?
To call her out and call up my entire family, because apparently they're slimy enough that nobody has any idea of all the things they've done.
Oh,
And
there's a fair few number of people who know what they're about. The problem's proof.
And I can be the proof. I want to take my family down. And if that means me, then I'll go down.
Okay. Before you react to what I'm about to say, I want you to take a few seconds to really process what I say.
Okay.
What you have is hearsay, and it will come across in the media, because they'll make sure it does, that a kid is angry with their parents and is throwing out lies. If you want to take your parents down, I can aim some resources towards it and help you and the team actually shut their criminal activities down.
You need to promise that you're not going to keep me in hiding. That if there's news coverage on the team, I'm at least visible.
That really isn't up to me.
Can't
If
you
you
pull
want to be
strings?
part of the team,
You're a rich dude. Come on.
what I'm saying is, it's not up to me to hide you. It's not up to me to put you in the front lines. You and the team do what you and the team do. If you want to be up the front, you can be up the front. It's up to the rest of the team.
Fine. Guess I'll go back to the team.
One thing you might want to consider, and you can tell the others this, because you guys having enemies actually targeting you has come a little bit sooner than I was expecting. Let the rest of the team know that the option is there. They do not have to take it. But at Mortec, we have been working on some new suits tailored to your abilities to keep you a little safer.
We'll discuss it as a team.
Yeah, like I said.
Fine, I'll turn around and stop coming towards your tower since you're not going to help or not help in the way I expected you to, just like every other adult in my life. Sorry.
Mika, this is the important part. If you want to do a press conference and you want to say whatever you like, I'll arrange it. I will make sure that there is worldwide media attention on it if you really want me to. I am just telling you, I have a long experience with the media, a long experience with trying to battle villains in the media. I am telling you what, in my experience, will happen. What will happen is they'll carry on being able to do whatever they've been doing, and you will be made to look like an angry, spoiled child.
Well,
You're not that, but that's what they will make you seem like.
I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of naysayers for me switching sides who think I'm an angry, spoiled teenager.
Yeah,
Rich.
and they'll just make it. They'll just spin it in the media that that's what is going on.
Fine.
What you need to do is hit them where it hurts, and that's not the media. That's their bottom line.
So harmless graffiti all over buildings? Is that what I mean? I didn't say that out loud to you.
Okay, he is actually trying to shift your labels.
Oh, cool. I'm going to...
1 second. I'm just going to tell you what the shift will be, because you deserve to know that before.
Well, I have a -2 to reject what people say, so... I don't know if that applies in this case.
He's trying to lower your danger.
What? That's my stat.
And increase your savior.
Interesting. I don't think Mika has made it abundantly clear she really doesn't care for more. So I'm going to at least attempt and see what happens.
1 second. I'm just bringing up. Okay, so you can choose to reject. You can either take the shift or you can choose to reject their influence. If you do, you roll 2d6. On a 10 plus, you choose 2. On a 7 to 9, you choose 1. And it's the options on there are clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift 1 label up and 1 label down, your choice. And finally, cancel the influence and take +1 forward against them. If you miss, their words hit you hard, you mark in condition, and I get to adjust your labels any old how, not necessarily how I said.
Well, she's going to attempt to reject it because it's more. If it would have literally been just about any other adult. She's upset. She wants her way, and she's being a spoiled brat, basically.
So how are you rejecting?
I think she just looks at him, or she's talking into a comm piece. So there's probably not like a face-to-face. I think she's going to go, just because you've been doing this forever doesn't mean that this is going to turn out the way that you expect it to, or you've seen in the past.
Okay, make the roll. I'm pretty sure it doesn't add any stats to it.
Fuck you more. Remind me.
Okay, so you get to choose 1. Choose. I think was it 1 or 2? On a 10 plus, you choose 2. You can clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong, which could be dangerous. You can shift one label up and one label down of your choice, or you can cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them. You get to choose 2 of those.
I'm gonna shift my own labels. I'm going to get rid of insecure.
Okay, to clear a condition, you have to do something to prove them wrong. Labels is the savior, danger, etc., etc., etc. You can move one of those up and one of them down.
Well, I guess I'll take one ongoing or one forward against them.
Okay, so Moore no longer has influence over you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And the other one, and you're shifting your labels, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And you said you were heading back to the subway.
Correct. I got to figure out what I'm doing.
Okay, cool. In which case, we shall shift back to the subway if anybody's got anything they want to be doing right now.
Zeke is heading back into the main area of the subway, looking at his phone at the text message. And he speaks up, it's like, did anyone else get this message from Mika?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
She can handle herself. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. We need everyone back here
She's
right now. Because right now we have a lot on our plate going on right now. Between this and we have the new Magna Carta in the med bay.
Well, we thankfully have a handle on the new Magna Carta, and we both know that Mika's been given a communication device, so I trust she'll be back soon.
Right.
Chris has picked up the work that she was doing earlier with Noah on the time travel stuff, and she's also sending a text to him. Watch your back. Return as soon as possible.
That was to me.
No, that was to Skylar.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I think Skylar is going to... so Skylar has been doing 2 things. But the second thing involved him just sort of looking around in the... I think if it's all right, I'm going to have him come in at this point, if that works, where he's been just sort of looking around, sort of around where the computer is, and he's sort of emerging, I think, and from actually probably looking around. He's been looking around, so he probably is coming out through the kitchen. He's like, "Oh, that's a novel way to approach to try to clean the kitchen." And when you see him, he's now changed into he's now wearing sort of dark. He's wearing dark green pants that are sort of the sort of not quite leather superhero armor fabric. He's wearing a sort of a dark shirt, and he's got a very dark gray hoodie on, and over that he's thrown a sort of a dark, maybe sort of dark brownish to greenish vest with a lot of pockets in it. And he still has, so the hood's down right now, and he's still carrying the sunglasses. So he's kind of trying out a couple of things here, as he's kind of coming in. He's like, "Hey, you folks got that text, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Has anyone seen Martin? I haven't. I was trying to.
Who? Who's Martin?
we named him Martin.
Wait.
The little robot.
You named the robot Martin.
Yeah.
I would name it Keith.
That's because you have no imagination. Last time I saw him, he went scooting down the. He just went flying off down the subway tunnel.
Crap. So. Yeah, I have a so he destroyed the kitchen and then he took off. I have a feeling he's not here to help us.
Oh, well, if that's the case, then we've got rid of him. Then for good purpose. Then.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye out and see what the heck's going on with that. And I'm just going to put, and you see on my tablet that I've pulled out, I've from one of the many pockets, I'm now sort of setting up and I'll just even announce, I'll do this in dialogue. I'm just going to set up a search subroutine that'll ping me if he comes up on any of our security, and hopefully we've got enough. We're good enough with his signature that it'll let me know if it runs into him, and then I can try to find out what the hell's going on with that. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, he was supposed to be helping to figure out the time travel stuff a little bit.
Well, Skylar, honey, I was hoping if you had any free time, you could help me go through the police records and try to find out why Blue Line was there.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, sure. See if we can figure something out from there.
He looks over Chris. I have tons of imagination.
Picture an apple.
I'm full of imagination. I have creativity.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Like, he pulls out like a napkin and he draws a picture of a cat. Like, see?
I mean, I never would have thought of putting chili on cheese fries.
Oh, well,
is it cheese on chili fries?
No, they serve it to you as, they don't serve it as chili cheese fries. They sell you the chili, the cheese on one side and the fries on the other. I came up with the idea of putting the chili and the cheese on top of the fries. It saves plate space and reduces the amount of plates that you got to remove from the table.
And that was creative. Okay, you have imagination. I haven't been able to work any further on this. I haven't gotten any further on this whole time travel thing. Puck and Null, when you go through records, Ronan said he was working an apartment fire that should be just clearing up, which seems a little odd. He usually doesn't handle stuff like that, but must have been a big one with more than the fire department could handle.
Nell is going to look up from where he's over with Puck right now and is sort of starting to go process the data. And it was sort of syncing up, and then he sort of looks up and he's going to he's going to say, Manny, could you turn on the police band, please?
Sorry, distracted for a moment. What was that?
Nell has just asked Manny to turn on the police band. Police band activated. Just because he's just has a hunch about something. He just wants to hear if there's anything weird going on, or if they're talking about the fire.
What are you looking for? Yeah, you start looking at all the police things. Yeah, you don't know. Currently unknown how the fire started. Doesn't seem to be obviously power related. It could have just been an accident, but a large apartment building was set on fire. A couple of the supposed safety systems in it to try and control that sort of blaze didn't activate. So Ronin and the hero we never actually ended up fleshing out properly, Monarch, spent the past hour or so basically stopping the fire and getting people out.
All right, fine. Skylar, Puck, I suppose you two can handle this together. Looking for any kind of research on, one, this time travel, two, what we can do to help out Mika. First, I suppose you also have the situation with Magna Carta under control, correct?
Yeah, just exhausted. Needs to sleep. Needs to eat, not used to burning calories like that.
Right.
Oh, that reminds me. And they start dialing up, and they order 7 large pizzas.
I could eat. We do need some rest. And
So this double pepperoni. There's a couple of supremes. There's 1 pineapple and sardines because there's always that person within the group.
That's
and-
Puck.
See, I told you.
totally, 100%.
And the others are like 3 meat combos. All right, I ordered food.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you also for, being you. I'm complimenting you.
Okay. You're welcome.
He looks back at Skylar and Puck and does this.
Puck gives him a wide double thumbs up.
And Chris is like, how do I be anything else but who I am?
Well, I mean,
that doesn't process. She doesn't say that out loud, but that's her thought process. Like, how is this? Thank you for being who you are. Sure, you're welcome.
thank you. And he's going to head off to help clean up the kitchen.
I'm going to text. I'm just going to quietly, while I'm doing this other stuff, I'm going to text Chris. I'm just going to say, they didn't show you Mr. Rogers growing up, did they?
Who?
Oh,
I've got some stuff to show you.
I love this ship. It's so pure.
So pure, these two.
Chris is like, okay. Her education, or their education was different. People
Awesome.
skills, what are those? But I think they will text back to Skylar. Thank you for saving Mika. I almost killed her. I didn't mean to.
I mean, so there's going to be like a pause, kind of, as I'm kind of. Skylar's used to multitasking anyway, so it's probably as far as Puck sees, he keeps typing stuff on his pad, and then he switches over to another thing, and then he keeps going. But he'll be like, there'll be like a pause, and they'll be like, "Are you okay?"
I overreacted. And I didn't mean to hurt you guys.
And
I'm sorry.
I see it. It's okay. We're fine. Let's see. Here. It's you. And I'll just say, shit happens.
I can't always control my powers. And then there's the bomb emoji explosion.
And I'll just be like, we're all new at this. You'll get it. And there'll be like a thumbs up.
Okay, about now is when Mika would be getting back.
Can you, and she'll continue the text, can you make me something? Help me find a way to control these. And then she's going to look at it for 15 seconds and then hit send.
Ooh, okay. And we'll be like, sure, I'll start. He'll text back, sure, exclamation point. I'll start looking into that right away.
You just
And I open up a third window on my tablet.
And you get a smiley face emoji back. And I would like to, under my one of my team moves is when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, tell them how they could stop you if it came down to it. Does that hit at that mole, do you think?
Yeah, sure. And my light's just going out.
Ah!
All right, so I mean, Null already has influence over Chris, but it will allow me to declare that condition too.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up.
Yep.
That light should not have gone out.
Do we need to take a second? Do you want us to get a break for a second or anything?
I'll be able to sort it out in just a second. I mean, it's just going to mean that there's this black bit for
That's
a bit.
all right. It makes you look more sinister. It's good.
I was gonna say it's the darkness in Mika's heart escaping.
Okay, if you give influence to them, if they gain influence over to you and they've already got it, they get to shift the labels.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
So
Do you want to know what our labels are?
Yeah, sure. If you.
Yep. Freak is 3. Danger is 2. Savior is -1. Superior is 1. Mundane is -2.
Okay. I would like to shift your freak down 1. And I will move your which is the one that's -1?
Savior, and mundane is -2.
Mundane is -2. Yeah. I can see I can see a reason to go to either of those. Do you still have you still have conditions running right now though? Yeah.
Yeah, I just cleared guilty.
You just cleared
that
guilty.
Would clear
Okay, that's
guilty
good.
as well. So.
Actually, if you just cleared guilty, I can see a reason to move your savior up from -1 to 0. I think that seems situationally appropriate, if that makes sense. That works.
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
So before I get back, I'm gonna actually fly in the face of Moore, but I think this would also clear my insecure condition. So rather than go, I'm assuming there's some like Twitter, Twitch, Periscope-y type technology in our world, yeah?
Sorry, was that for me?
Is there a Twitter, Twitch like parallel in our world?
Oh yeah.
So if I
There's
wanted to
all that
go
sort of
like
stuff.
live on Facebook or live on Twitch, could I? Or
Would it have been
take a
something
video
Mika's
of
done in the past?
Twitter?
Yeah, you could
So
probably
I'm trying
upload
to
something.
keep my insecure condition, which says you are following your worst, most impulsive instincts without consulting anyone. Moore told her not to have a press conference, but she still wants to put her side of the story out.
Okay. Yeah, you can tweet something.
So she actually wants to take out her phone and take a video. And basically she's going to go over recounting everything and how the Hutchinson real estate company is really just a front for a criminal organization, and how I think they're going to be brazen enough to say her mother wants them dead, wants her dead. And I think she tweets it. She's going to put every like news outlet that's at least local to Doctropolis, because at some point the equivalent of the Associated Press will pick up the story if it gets enough press and traction. And like local news agencies will have like tip lines, so she'll just drop the link to her tweet in there for them, and hopefully this counts for.
Yep, it certainly does.
Okay, because technically she consulted with Moore. She wanted to do a press conference. I didn't know if you were going to be weird about that.
No, that's all good. Yeah, that works 100%. But there you go. So basically, so you do that, and then you go back to the subway, yeah?
Yes. And okay. I'm assuming that at least Puck follows her on insert name of social media network here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's called Bookface.
I was thinking more like Bumbler. It's a microblogging site. Thank you very much.
I always like the IT crowd one for Twitter, which is Chitter.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah, Puck sees this and immediately just sends it like up to the team. It sets it up on their laptop and turns it around so the team can see it. What the fuck is she doing?
What is she doing? She just put a target on her head.
Mika, they're going to text Mika. They're going to dig out the phone. Mika, honey, come home right now. Turn off the live stream and come home.
It was a video, but okay. I'm already on my way.
Can you take that video down?
Skylar, Puck, can you take that video down?
Already on it.
Just
take it down, but I'm just going to keep retweeting it.
What is the... I'm sorry, my brain was in two places at once. What was the video on?
Basically calling out her family and just laying out everything that has happened in the last hour.
Does the video show your face?
Absolutely, it's one of these. Oh, you probably can't see it, but
yeah, it's the thing. And during it, do you basically announce that is your identity as Black Raven secret, or is it's
not anymore.
Okay, just checking.
If it was, it's not anymore.
Okay. Did you out anyone else or just yourself? Just out of curiosity.
No, she's not gonna out anyone else.
Okay.
This is kind of her own beef to deal with.
Yeah. So I'm just basically so that said, I'm going to immediately leap to try to pull it down. Although I'm in the back of my head, I'm like, no, the damage has already been done. There's no way. But I'm basically start working with Puck to try to pull it down.
Phobos leans on the console. It's like, this can go only one of two ways. One, this just fuels more fire, pun intended, for Mika's mother. Two, I've seen Moore handle situations like this, and I know exactly what may happen. They're going to paint Mika in the most negative light ever. So in other words, either this will not end well. I am legit worried now.
You ain't the only one, Cher. Trust me.
Well, she just let's see. She just outed her identity. So then,
Just forwarded it to her dad to Ronan, and it just says, "Fuck."
I look at my phone, and I legit hold up 5 fingers, counting down when Moore is about to text me, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I point to my phone.
Does Moore text him?
I look shocked. So I guess this is basically him saying we're on our own with this.
I think you instead get a message from Mika specifically to you, because I just think it'll be funny if this happens instead of getting a text message.
I think it's more. I look at the text message to see who's from.
It's an M name too, because you probably have Mika.
Yeah.
As Mika.
Well, actually, what he has is for Mika, he has an icon of Baditz Maru from Hello Kitty. For Meta Warp, he has a picture icon of it's like a grayscale picture, like one of those. It's like a grayscale Pantone is Meta Warp's icon.
I love Pantone.
It is a picture of Puck. Like someone drew a picture. He found a picture of Puck from Midsummer's Night's Dream and used that for Puck's image.
That's so good.
And for Skylar, it's a picture of Neo from The Matrix.
Yes.
So he looks at the phone. He's like, and he opens up the text from Mika.
And it literally says, "I went to Moore first."
So I look at that. I see that she went to Moore first. I put the phone away and I look at the others. I can already figure out what probably just happened. She went to Moore for advice. Moore told her not to. And she said, "Fuck you, Moore," and did the utter opposite.
That sounds like my Mika.
Okay.
You think he was expecting that then, maybe?
He probably 100% expecting it. I mean, the guy's an ass, but he's smart at what he does.
I think we need to move the train.
We're going to have to. All right. Skylar, let's start packing up.
Right.
Chris is doing stuff as well to start getting everything packed up so that we can move the train.
Yeah, Puck is going to help.
Here.
Puck is going to help get Magna Carta on the train.
At this point, Ronan walks in.
Huh.
What's going on?
Oh, hello.
I just walk over and I just hit the play button and hold it up.
Yeah.
Can I mention one thing about Mika's appearance? I think she had brown hair, but it's slowly becoming more and more black the more crap that goes on with her mom. And I think she probably also had brown eyes, but they almost appear black as well. Anyone who is tussled with Black Raven when Black Raven was a villain, this is more of what her appearance looked like during that.
And then she goes, and that's Magna Carta. We were just getting ready to move her onto the train. It's probably not the safest.
This is quite possibly the safest square 100 meters in the city.
Well, we're just going to move. Probably.
Why, Dad?
Yeah, why?
When Moore set this up, behind all the brickwork here is the ridiculous amount of tech to make detection nigh impossible. You move the train to another subway station, you're going to have less anti-detection working for you.
Oh.
All right, guess we're not moving. We probably
All right.
should just,
And as I understand things, because I know a bit about the Hutchinsons, I've dealt with a few of their lackeys. They may know, well, obviously they know about Mika, but they don't really know anything about you guys, other than what was in the news. Yet, but don't act hastily, act smartly.
I mean, I guess to be fair, she didn't tell them anything that they didn't know already. It's just now everybody knows. Yeah.
Well, for one thing, I can tell you that Moore will probably have spoken to the various news outlets saying it's nothing. And while a few conspiracy groups will probably pick up on the tweet and make a thing about it, Mika doesn't quite yet have the following of the bigger heroes for it to become particularly widespread. Yeah, it may not have been the best idea in the world, but this is not. This is a road bump, not a wall, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This visibly relaxes a lot of that tension that she was holding on her shoulders, just kind of drops a bit.
Ezekiel just looks 5% less relaxed, which out of, I don't know, 175% for him? Yeah.
You're welcome, Zeke.
And then she'll
Anyway, who's hungry? He pulls this bag out from behind his back. I got subs.
We ordered pizza.
We can have both.
But Chris
And
has
we
already
have a
grabbed the
refrigerator.
sub. It's already grabbed
If
the
you're
bag and
doing-
is digging through a sub.
If you're doing what you should be doing as a hero, okay, which involves doing hero work and training and exercising, etc., 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 it doesn't matter if you've ordered pizza. You better eat both and you'll work it off.
This is true. He takes a sub.
Puck takes one too.
I think Mika walks in at the mention of subs. Hi, guys. Aren't you glad I'm home safely?
Like,
Puck is just going to pull Mika into a big hug, kiss both cheeks, shove some food at her, sit her down, smack her in the back of the head. Don't do that again.
I don't make promises I can't keep.
Hit her harder.
Puck hits her harder.
I'm going to defend myself. Like hell you're hitting me again. Or you're going to get a big face full of water is probably what you're going to get.
You wouldn't dare to ruin my makeup.
She definitely dares. Puck probably knows better than anyone on this team. When you first met Mika, she looked very close to how she looks right now, with jet black hair and practically jet black eyes.
And this is when Chris finally puts it together who Mika is from her past.
I would dare, and I dare to do a whole lot worse.
oh shit, that's right.
Everybody's remembering session 0 now.
Oh snap, that's
I don't-
right.
Mika's got enough on her plate. I don't think
Chris
Mika
doesn't
realized.
say anything. Chris just kind of looks at her, and her eyes go a little wide, and she looks at her eyes flick to her dad, and she's, I need you to come take a look at Magna Carta. I think she's still sleeping, but could you come check her out? And it's just like guiding her, tugging on her dad. She takes the bag of sandwiches, sets them down on the nearest flat surface, and then just takes her dad and is kind of guiding him over to where Magna Carta is.
As he's walking across, he goes. He just turns to me and goes, "Impressive. I don't think it'll have the effect you want, but that was a ballsy move."
Aren't supervillains known for being ballsy?
Most supervillains, in my experience, have got a habit of being stupid.
Well, at least I'm living up to being a supervillain.
You're not a villain.
I don't think I'm a hero.
You don't have to be. You can just be you, Mika.
Well, a lot of good that's done for anyone. My mom wants me dead. I nearly got blown out a window. Thank God for Null.
1 second, and Ronan goes, "I'll be with you in just a second." And he walks over to an area, opens up a couple of boxes, and goes, grabs something, comes over and slams it down on the table in front of you. There you go. That's about the most concise list of people that your mum wants dead. He's just to put the phone book down.
Yeah, but it's kind of saying something when your own mother wants you dead.
Honey, my own mama wants me dead too. You ain't unique in that factor.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
If my mom actually wanted me dead, She could probably hire every supervillain in the town to get it done.
Well, then look at it this way. If your mom wanted you dead, you wouldn't be here right now. You would have probably been killed on your way here right about now. So view it like that. Right now, yes, your mom wants you dead. But it's probably not on the top of her to-do list. She probably has 3 other things to do on her to-do list, which is probably, I don't know, kick a puppy, gain land, and shop for milk. And then maybe number 5 is kill Mika. So just be glad you're not number 1 for now.
You guys did.
I've actually got some information on what your mum's actually up to right now, but
I don't really care at the moment.
well, it was something you guys asked me to look into. So,
Wait, what was it?
those abductions that started a while back. I basically started cross-referencing stuff inside the computer database with Paladin's files, the UN's files, lots of different places. And right about the time that the abduction started, Hutchinson Haulage saw a remarkable uptake in their nighttime activity, and they also leased the parking structure of an old hotel. Oh, sorry, an old hospital. You know that new hospital that opened about 5-6 years ago?
Mhm.
They closed down the old one, which was about half a mile away, because the
Right.
new one was, 5 times bigger, state of the art, etc., etc. That hospital. So yeah, the parking structures have been leased to Hutchinson Haulage, and they seem to be using the parking structure and a attached building as a center point for some sort of nighttime haulage. But from what I can tell, while the trucks are moving a lot, they're not moving anything.
I get the feeling that your hunch was right, Mika.
I don't like this at all. I want to go check out that parking garage and check out that area. Who's with me?
I'm with you.
Can we wait for the pizza?
Yeah, can we wait for the pizza? I actually,
Of course.
the sub really didn't fill me up.
Just a suggestion. It's a nighttime operation. Maybe go during the day. Less eyes on you.
What time of day is it? Just out of curiosity.
It's relatively late in the evening, getting dark, because you guys went out evening time when the whole thing kicked off with the blue line. So you're probably talking somewhere between 8 and 9 now. I'd say get a night's sleep, think it out. You should be able to, through the computer system, be able to get blueprints for the layout as on city file for the hospital. Know what you're going into.
Does Doctropolis have CCTV like London and England do?
It's not as bad as London, but there is a lot of CCTV like there is in most industrialized
I was just about to ask
major
that.
cities.
Yeah. Skylar, maybe we can hit up cams in the area.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And I'm going to start working on that.
Okay, you look at the cameras and you'll find that the cameras in the hospital grounds are no longer on the network. You don't know if the cameras have been destroyed or whether the link to the network has been severed. Wouldn't take much if you knew where you were looking.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of cameras in the roads and the buildings nearby that you can get a few views of the hospital. Not particularly detailed, but
Yep. While Null does that, Puck is going to dig out their phone and they're going to start contacting the people they know in the community, asking if the people who've been missing have been taken from around the old hospital.
no, it's from all over the city. They've been reaching out to some of the other groups in the, because you've got the different quarters of the city, and then you've got the homeless around whatsoever. Because you came from one area of the city, they've been reaching out to other areas. Other kids have been going missing across the entire city. That they know of, the number is running to about 50 at the moment.
Okay. Wow.
Since it started. That's what the group knows of.
Okay.
So, do we have like a gym space?
There is a workout training area. Yeah.
So I'm going to say
It's
that
not it's not as expansive as you might like, but there are space constraints.
I think there's probably drains in the floor because Moore's smart and knows Mika's powers are tied like our water. But I think she's going to practice martial arts. So I think you hear the pummeling of a hanging punching bag, and then just the splash of water that comes after it, and probably lots of grunting and just angry screaming. Not because I'm trying to clear the angry condition, but it just seems like that's what she would do.
Yeah. You can carry on working on that. At which point, Ronan will follow over to where Magna Carta was. Sorry, Di, that just seemed a little bit more pressing.
Yeah, no worries. She's stable. Just seems exhausted. Again, maybe a little malnourished, a little dehydrated.
Hey, you wouldn't believe the stupid shit I would have put up on Chitter if it had been around when I started out.
So why you wouldn't let me have an account?
That was your mum's doing, actually. She
Goodness.
said no social media or she'll blow me up.
Yeah, that sounds like mom.
Mm.
Speaking of blowing things up,
I saw the kitchen.
No, I nearly killed my team today. I overcharged.
Okay, honey, you're gonna have to tell me a bit more than that, because I know when it comes to your powers, you're either on the money or you're exaggerating.
I went Nova.
Okay. Well, as I understand it, you must have had still a grasp on it, otherwise they wouldn't be standing here.
Barely.
Remember when you were 8 and it happened the first time? We lost half the house.
Yeah. Sorry about the insurance.
Yeah. No, the important thing is nobody was hurt. And what I'm saying is, if you'd have done that, if what you did tonight had been like it was then, the mood in this building would probably be very, very different.
It was because of me that Mika went out the second story window of Null. She starts to say Skylar and then changes it to Null. I hadn't grabbed her. She could have been dead. I mean, I didn't care about dropping the troopers through the floor, several floors. And, but when Blue Line's shield exploded, it could have gone that way.
Look, I don't know what the best advice is, because I'm not in your shoes. But the one thing I do know is you have the potential for so much, and you have the heart and the brains to handle it. What you need is to find a way to let yourself trust yourself. I know, easier said than done.
Just scared. I don't want to hurt them.
Well, that in itself, in my experience with A, helping raise you, and B, fighting alongside your mother, that is probably the thing that will keep them safe. On a subconscious level, you're not going to let them get too hurt.
Yeah. Okay.
Just try and trust yourself. You've got a better grip on it. The way your mum explained it to me, the worst thing for keeping control are those moments of doubt as to whether you can.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, because, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes, yeah, I see what you're saying. And then she just throws her arms around him and hugs him really tight.
Anyway, I read the reports. Did a good job tonight. May not have happened exactly how you wanted it to happen. Everybody's safe. You saved Magna Carta, and whoever Magna Carta had was there to see managed to escape as well.
I think she was squatting in the building, Dad. I think that's where she's been staying.
I don't think that's the actual story, but I think that's a story that she'll have to tell you.
Okay.
You know the code. I can't tell you who she really is. I know who she really is, because the old Magna Carta kept a list of files of people that could potentially replace them. And from what I can see, this is one of them.
All right. She I don't think she got as much time in training as she could have used. Just saying.
First times out, you know, I mean, you remember the first times you were out and about trying to use your powers in stressful situations.
Yeah. That was a lot of pasta.
Yeah. It looks like they're shattered, probably from using their powers.
Are we not back at that all you can eat buffet now?
Oh, that closed down. It's now a corner shop.
Okay. Thanks, Dad. Thanks for coming.
Anytime. Well, I can't say anytime. That's not entirely true. Anytime the city's not in danger.
All right.
Okay. He turns around and raises his voice enough and goes, okay, you guys, 2 hours tops of looking into this shit. And then I want everyone watching a movie or something, all right?
Oh. Yes. Okay, we'll do that.
Trust me, best thing you can do before a planned op is finish the night off with relaxation.
Okay.
Personally, I'm a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Streets.
I am too.
But, you know.
I am. I actually a big fan of those also, horror movies.
Chris, having nightmares is not a good
thing. This is like for a second. Skylar starts to agree, and then he kind of is looking over at where if Chris is coming back into the room, he's like, "Oh well, yeah, no, they're not that." You know.
I look over at Chris and Skylar, then I look at Puck. They're probably not going to want to watch. Do you want to watch Nightmare on Elm Street with me, Puck?
Puck takes a moment, looks him up and down. I've never seen him, but you know what? Why not?
They're wonderful movies, a tour de force of horror and suspense.
I'll take your word for it, Shay. We'll have to watch them sometime.
Excellent. I look forward to watching the movie with
You probably just hear a yell from in the like workout gym area from Mika at this moment. Ah! Splash.
Chris will be putting in Casablanca. She has a thing for black and white movies.
Like
Nice.
home.
People
Hey,
that
you
look
fiddle
like
around with the color settings. Any movie could be a black and white movie.
That's fair.
but not every movie works in black and white.
That's true. Not every movie was
This is
shot.
true.
for
Did
black and white.
when Chris watched Wizard
Sin
of Oz for the
City.
first when Chris watched Wizard of Oz for the first time, did she believe this was some bullshit?
No, she actually asked her dad and her mom because I think she was probably little. It was right like not long before mom left. She actually asked her mom if she could do that, if that's the way it worked, that if she went someplace else she could see.
Oh,
I still think we should team watch Mr. Rogers.
This is the thing where it's like,
She whispers to her dad, "I think my education has been lacking."
Every time I tried to show you the stuff other kids wanted to watch, you blew something up.
I mean, yeah.
I tried to give you as close to what all the other kids had as a childhood as you could get. But you turned out great.
I imagine Meta Warp was the kid that ran away from home trying to find Mr. Rogers' neighborhood and went looking for Sesame Street.
Oh.
And when they couldn't find them, it's like, well, if I can't go there, why would I want to watch people who are there? Because I want to be there. I don't want to watch other people being there. That's I think the way her brain worked.
Okay, as Ronan's getting ready to leave, he looks at his phone, sees the text from wherever, and he goes, and he walks over to the nanny computer, taps a few things away, and then goes, "No, Merry Christmas," and starts walking out.
Oh. Thanks. And he resists for as long as he can, which is all of like a second and a half, and then he leaps over to the computer
Christmas.
to see what it is.
You now have access to Ronan's files.
Immediately.
You'll note. Okay, you now have access to 3 different sets of hero files. You have Dr. Twilight's, you have Moore's, and you have Ronan's.
Okay.
You'll notice that there's a lot of overlap, but in some areas, each of them excelling, as it were. So it's a case of, there's probably an overlap of about 80%. 80% of each database is probably pretty much identical information. But there's
interesting.
Each of them goes into more detail in different areas. So collating it all and that sort of stuff. Your team probably has the most collated and efficient, decent database of criminal activity in New Eden.
Excellent.
Convenient.
very convenient.
All you need now really is access to Paladin's files, and then you'll probably have the full set.
Yes, collect them all.
Gotta catch them all.
This will help if I'm trying to write a predictive algorithm. But
Okay, should we have our break before you lot go off and try and save the world?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm down.
Yeah.
awesome. All right, folks, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we shall return for more heroism. See you shortly. we have returned, and apparently our characters have been watching movies. There seems to be a lot of that going on.
Yeah, just as the GM, to give you an idea of the sort of thing that I love, that kind of describes the way I try and approach running games. The Count of Monte Cristo.
I have never seen the movie, but I have read the book to the point where I pretty much have it memorized.
If you're going to watch it, I highly recommend the one with Jim Caviezel as the Count. It's also got Guy Pearce, a very, very young Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh yeah, okay, I have seen that version.
I still need to
Hey,
see
guys.
this.
I've seen that version.
So I
Richard,
didn't watch
Richard
the
Harris?
movie. Yeah, Richard Harris is in it though. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Richard Harris.
So
Yep.
I didn't watch the movie, but I watched the anime of the Count of Monte Cristo.
I highly recommend that version of the Count of Monte Cristo for anybody who's watching. It was very, very well done.
See, around the age of 13 was when I was devouring Jane Austen, Alexander Dumas, and the Brontes.
I still haven't devoured all of that.
I've tried. I've tried to read Wuthering Heights. Didn't interest me, but Jane Eyre just gripped me and wouldn't let me go.
Remind me afterwards to tell you about a version of Jane Eyre that I know about that I think you might like.
Okay, so while I'm guessing you're going to be bringing up the blueprints.
Yes.
Okay, when bringing up the blueprints, you see that included and underneath the parking structure, this is a callback to the post-World War II Cold War era, that there was an incredibly large bunker built underneath the parking structure, just in case someone decided to do something really stupid and start a nuclear apocalypse.
Okay.
Hmm.
Other than that, it's a fairly standard parking thing with a from the cameras you can see this. You've got a 2-story semi-permanent building structure type thing, which is what you guess is offices for the supposed haulage.
Okay. So it's pretty much obvious there is something here that is not. It's pretty much obvious something here is like underhanded, or is like something is being used here still, or has the capability of it.
I don't know, is it?
Puck is going to tell everybody about the bunker and then suggests that tomorrow they go and check it out.
None of you have seen Mika all night. Well, other than when she came back. By the way.
Say, after a while, after Ronan leaves, Chris is gonna kind of slip away and head to the training room where they've been hearing Mika work out.
The vast majority of the stuff that's on the subway is open planned. So you can, from the kitchen, you can see the med bay area.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You can see
Okay.
everything. Some sight lines are obviously blocked because you've got those pillar bits that, down the middle of the platform.
Yeah.
For structural purposes. But the idea is if you take a subway station where on one side you've got subway tracks, on the other side you've got subway tracks. One side has been leveled up to the actual platform to create additional space. And all the way across, it's a relatively open plan thing. The privacy area is pretty much in the cars because those are actually closed off actual things. So keeping with that, the walls to the training area are probably made out of a really high-tech perspex plastic type thing, so you can see through it even if you can't see clearly through it.
Well, regardless, if you can see through it at all, if the walls around it, they're covered in water. It almost looks like somebody was taking a shower in the training room.
So Chris will go in there and she'll kind of kind of knock on the wall next to the doorway to the entranceway, just so she doesn't startle Mika.
Yes.
We talk?
Sure.
Chris will step in and kind of go over and lean against a wall. She'll actually kind of like scrape the extra water off with her hand, like with a hand squeegee thing, and then lean against the wall and go, "Do you want her dead?"
I mean, I have one. Some
No,
would say he's...
Do you want her dead?
Oh, we're talking about my mom. Okay, sorry. I think you just see her think much like I'm thinking about the answer to this question. And I think she just pauses. I don't know. At the end of the day, she's my mom. She's the reason I'm here. She's the reason I exist.
I mean, she gave birth to you. That doesn't make her a mom.
True. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. I've been out of the supervillain game for a couple of years.
Yeah, I know.
But the training or the
indoctrination.
Yeah, I was going to say programming.
Yeah,
I was expecting. Right. I was expected to be the heir to the family fortune, the family business. I spent more time learning how to punch things really hard and control my powers instead of being a kid. Your dad is fantastic. Your dad wanted you to be a kid, even though he knew you harnessed immense power. He loves you. I never felt love. I didn't even feel love from a nanny. Sorry, nanny, I don't need anything from you.
So, do you want her dead?
I just want her to be brought to justice for her crimes. I think wanting her dead makes me no better than she is.
Okay.
I mean, if it happens, it happens.
Well,
if you do it, I'm not going to be angry.
I can make it happen. And you feel all of a sudden this tightening around something inside of you that doesn't feel quite right, and like a tugging sensation that's real but not real.
What are you doing?
I'm holding your soul in my hand.
Good luck finding one in her.
Oh, she has one. Do you want me to rip it from her body? All I have to do is see her in person. If you want that, I will. If you don't, I won't.
How about this? If we are wildly outclassed, the five of us, then I want her taken down.
Then all you need to do is tell me, do it.
I think...
And I will. You don't have to just That's an option. I can bring a building down on her head too.
I appreciate the gesture. I do. But by me telling you that I want her dead, I don't feel like that's what a hero would do. I feel like everyone deserves a second chance. I know you didn't mean to blow me out the window. I was a little feisty after my conversation with Moore. That was probably a little uncalled for.
I didn't mean to blow you out.
Exactly. You didn't mean to blow me out of the... I have been taught and trained for hours and hours and years and years and years and years to have control of my powers. I'm also several years older than you are.
I'm several light years more powerful than you are.
Exactly. That shit's gonna take some time to control.
But this I can control, and you feel that tugging sensation again. So if it comes to it, all you have to say is do it. And I will. That's all.
Oh, this is dark.
And she just kind of gives you a look and stands up straight, and the pizza arrived. It's getting cold, and the subs too.
If only I would.
She turns around and walks out.
If only I would have gone to Metawarp. My team move is when you share vulnerability or weakness with someone, and ask them what they would do something. Ask them what they would do something dark for. Oh, I suppose I could still do it almost, even though I know.
Call her back. Call them back.
I think. Hey, Chris.
She'll stop. They'll stop. Turn around. Yeah.
My mom, my blood family, is probably my biggest weakness. There was a point in time that I was ready to go back to villainy since all of this stuff with Moore started. And how I feel like we're somehow responsible for saving all of Doctropolis, and we're probably not ready for that level of responsibility.
No, and I mean, Moore and Ronan know that.
I feel like I need to know. I know your parents are like superheroes to the extreme, but is there anything that could turn you over to the dark side?
She pauses and thinks for a moment, and then gestures to herself. I exist in the world of grays. Black, white, dark, light is just ends of a spectrum for me.
Is this where you're going to make some like Shades of Grey joke now?
No. What? Shades of Grey?
Oh, I mean, so people usually say things are black and white, and oftentimes things are in the middle, and black and white mix to make gray. Never mind. That was a bad black and white joke.
I exist in that.
I know, maybe that was the wrong answer or the wrong question to ask you. And maybe that was a little unfair.
I mean, even as heroes do things that maybe despite their best intentions, or maybe because they aren't thinking about repercussions, but heroes do things that I guess could be called dark or bad. I mean, that team in New York that, I mean, they pretty much destroyed most of a city or part of a city. What they were doing was right, but they still did harm. Does that make them bad? When does one become the other? Is it intense?
You'd think I'd have an answer to that question as someone who flipped sides. At some point, I think it is intent, because at some point it didn't become worth it to me. The kids who I could teach martial arts to were far more worth it than...
So if I intend harm to an individual who intends harm to my friends and other people, does that make me dark?
I think this is where I was talking shades of gray, Meadow Warp.
That's where I exist, in shades of gray.
Well, if it comes down to it, glad you're on my side. Glad I can count on you to be willing to do something I don't know if I could do myself if the opportunity arose.
If it comes to that, and that's what you want, all you have to do is let me know somehow. If I come to that point where I believe that's the only option left to stop them, I will not hesitate.
Again, I'm glad you're on my side, or we're on the same side now.
Pizza's getting
Thanks.
cold. And they'll turn around and walk out.
Oh, could you send Puck in here when you have a moment, or when they have a moment?
Yeah, and as Chris is walking out, they grab up a slice of pizza, plop down on the sofa next to Skylar, who has been absolutely absorbed in Casablanca. Goes, oh, this is my favorite part. Oh, hey, Puck, Mika wanted to see you. She's in the workout room, and then just starts eating the piece of pizza.
You're muted.
Thank you. Puck is going to reach over, pause the movie. Sasha, I gotta take this. Kiss Zeke on the cheek, pick up a piece of the pineapple pizza for themselves, and pick up one of the meat lover pizzas for Mika, and head into the training room and just delicately pick their way over to Mika, stepping over the puddles. It's like, well, you certainly made a mess. Everything all right?
I don't know.
Penny for your thoughts, dear.
I don't want to exist in this gray anymore. I can't be Meadowart and be in the gray and be okay.
Well, that's funny that you say that. Morality is really all dependent on your definition of good and or evil. The law may say one thing, but you have to take into spirit the ethics of the law.
I know, and Meadowart asked me what it meant to be on the dark side, and I couldn't articulate what it meant. You'd think somebody who is a villain should be able to explain what it means to be a villain.
Mika, honey, that's the thing. You were never a villain. You've always been good. You were gaslit, and you thought you were a villain for a very long time, but you actually were not.
Didn't know anything else existed other than being a villain.
Exactly, and that don't make you a bad person.
I was supposed to take over the family business and everything that entailed.
Mika, honey, you know I was supposed to do. You know I was supposed to go into the clergy. You know I was supposed to do all this crap that my parents want me to do too. Just because we don't live up to their expectations don't mean we're bad people.
It's just tough.
Yeah.
I want to break out of it. And I think it's kind of at this point where it's almost like the black is receding back into her hairline, like where her part is. It's definitely not all gone, but the brown is starting to come back at the tips. And her eyes are becoming a little bit more brown instead of black. I guess just a browner shade of black. I want to do good so bad.
Honey, I understand completely, but you have to understand something too. This is a transitional point in your life, and you are just in the very beginning stages of your transition. You need to be patient and give it time.
What if I don't have it? What if the next time I walk out on the street, that's the end? I don't know how I got to be so lucky as to make it home. Make it back to you guys. Make it back to my family.
Mika, honey, do you trust me?
Just feel like I'm putting you all in a whole hell of a lot more danger than you would be if I never joined the team.
Mika, honey, we'd be in danger no matter what. In between Skylar and I's knack and abilities with computers, Chris being Chris, and everything going on in between all three of us, we're already in plenty of danger.
I'm going to send a text message to Puck, and it's going to say, "Can I trust you to keep a secret?"
Yeah, of course you can, hon.
And Puck receives another message. Metawarp asked me if I wanted my mom dead, and my answer was, if I said yes, I'm no better than she is. Feelings?
You're taking the road that for you is the one less traveled, but that is the one that's going to make all the difference. I think you made the right choice, honey.
I think you see them, or see her just collapse to her knees, probably in a puddle, because that just seems appropriately dramatic.
Puck just pulls Mika into a big old hug and starts petting her hair and telling her it's going to be okay.
This is like the time, probably the first time in a long time, you've seen Mika just cry, like trying to process the trauma and what to do now. And I think to some extent, she's realizing how impulsive and stupid, and probably forgot to turn off her GPS, so there's geo data in her video, and like how impulsive that all was.
Honey, when was the last time you've eaten? Here, just do me a favor and take 3 bites, okay? And they're gonna hand Mika the meat lovers pizza. Now, what were you saying before I cut you off? I'm sorry, that was rude of me.
I have a mouthful of pizza now. I can't talk to you. They finish chewing and swallow. Puck, why do you stick by my side? Why does the team stick by my side? Do you know how much stupid shit I've done in the last couple of days? Like calling my mom. I feel like that's prime example number one.
Honey, you said it yourself. We're family.
Yeah, but sometimes family can be toxic.
Blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. And honestly, it's up to us to know our own boundaries and to be able to recognize when someone else is being toxic. And then we need to rely on our own strength in order to pull us away from that individual. We are making the choice to be friends with you, Mika. We are making the choice to be your family.
I feel like after running away yesterday, Phobos probably hates my guts.
Wait, is everything like loud, like hearable?
I think they're talking in a hush
Okay.
tone. You probably can. I mean, I don't know how open and how echoey it is.
The training room, you probably wouldn't be able to hear people talking in there simply because of how sturdy the construction the walls are. But, so, people don't accidentally destroy the entire subway.
Oh, it's fortified against powers and things, is what you're saying?
There's dampeners. So we could hear voices, but not words, correct?
If you've got really good hearing, you'll probably better hear the voices. I mean, it also depends on whether the door was left open or not. If the door wasn't left open, you wouldn't be able to hear anything.
No, Puck would not have left the door open.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I don't think Mika is consciously thinking about the door. I feel like I'm a horrible friend and I'm not worth your time or your breath or she takes another bite of pizza because she just has a feeling Puck's gonna be like, shut up and eat pizza now. Because it just seems like something Puck would say. And I think they just ramble. And has anything been going on in the city since I seem to have been MIA all day, other than the whole Magna Carta thing?
Puck will let them ramble. They'll finish eating their pizza. Then they'll start combing out Mika's hair and detangling it because she's probably dripping wet. So they're going to detangle Mika's hair and just kind of braid it and make it all pretty. Well, apparently people have gone missing from all over the city, and apparently there's some sort of bunker underneath the parking lot that was bought by your mother that has something to do with all these missing folks. Go check it out tomorrow.
Why aren't we going now?
Because Ronan suggested we go tomorrow. And frankly, I'm much more inclined to trust Ronan's opinion than Mr. Moore's.
I mean, I did tell Meadow Warp he's Dad of the Year. And has a spine, unlike my own dad.
Oh, honestly, I can trust you with a secret, right, honey?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of jealous of Chris. They have a loving family. They have two parents that accept them for who they are. Can't help but be jealous of that.
I think I'm going to head to bed if we're not going out tonight. But we got to find those kids.
Yes, honey, we will. We have to. We got to keep our own safe.
Because if my mom's related, maybe I should have just told Chris to go hunt her down.
Honey, you made the right choice. Don't let yourself fall into temptation now.
I still can change my mind. We have an agreement, unless it's literally her own. She only if she perceives it as her only option, I don't have a say. But up until that point, I can change my mind.
Yeah, that's a solid agreement. I don't blame you one bit.
Anyway, I think I need to go to bed.
Yes, honey, you do. I'll try and give you a good full 8 hours sleep, okay? You need it.
It's okay.
No, I need it. You've had a long, stressful day. You're tired.
It's not every day your mom tells you she wants you dead. Oh, wait. Maybe that is my new reality now.
Honey, trust me. It gets better. I was in your position once too. It gets better.
I think she just eyes you. And there's probably not a towel in the room because it would be soaked now. I think Mika has put like a hook on the outside by the door where she puts like a towel, a dry pair of shoes, like a dry pair of socks and shoes, just because otherwise she'd be walking around in wet shoes. And I think she dries off her hair and dries down her body as much as possible. Tell the others I'm going to bed.
Sure thing, honey. Sleep well. I'll light a candle for you before I go to bed. Puck kisses her cheek and waltzes back over to Zeke.
I think as Puck kisses her cheek, I think this is her time to pull them into an embrace. Because it's always the other way around.
Aww.
And it's like one of those hugs you give a good friend, like that, like, thank you kind of like just firm hug.
Puck is hugging her right back.
Now I'm going to try not to actually fall asleep leaning against my hand in a really soft blanket.
Yeah, and Puck is going to go back to Zeke and put the movie back on.
Okay, is there anything else before morning comes?
I do have something I wanted to do.
Okay.
So after like everyone has gone to bed, Zeke will head over to Nanny and he'll say, Nanny, computer volume down 5%. No, scratch that. Mute. Text only. Nanny, I need you to search the city for this figure. And he brings up the guy in the suit from before.
Text readout of working. Query, are you looking for current activity or past activity?
Current activity. Past 24 hours.
One match found.
Show me the match.
You get a 5-second loop from a CCTV showing the robotic suit perched precariously on a fence overlooking the very car park you're planning on going to. Looking inwards from the outside.
Nanny, scan area for any unique signatures radiating from where suit has been located. Any kind of radiation, gamma radiation, anything that will make it stand out. Anything that is trackable.
Insufficient data in CCTV network.
Nanny, any information about this suit, send it directly to me. Continue your search. Don't tell the others.
Affirmative.
And with that, I'm marking off. I'm removing my insecure mark. Because I did something without telling the team.
Okay. Cool.
And and then he'll go to bed afterwards.
I do have one tiny thing that need not be resolved at all now.
Okay.
But two tiny things that need not be resolved at all now. Basically, one is just double checking to see if if there were any hits for one is sorry, I'm going to change the order. One is just going through Twilight's database and just seeing if there's any for time travel stuff, and then also if there's a record of like where is the if we put in any sort of record of like which of our bunkers do I go to find a book if it's not in here about time travel from an occult perspective, that kind of deal.
Okay. The only record you get mentioning doesn't actually mention time travel. Mm-hmm. You get that Twilight, a lot of the times they'd handwrite on a tablet notes.
Yeah.
And it would automatically turn it into a text, but it would also keep a copy of what she actually wrote on the tablet. You just see a picture of her handwriting that basically says, was that time dilation? Question mark. The date coincides to when you and Phobos rescued Twilight in Midnight.
Okay. So basically, then I'll notice to start looking at records of that event in the near future. The other thing that I'm just going to check on is just kind of see if we got any pings on any possible pings on Martin's location.
You come up with a record of it leaving the sensor radius of the base.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been nothing since.
Okay.
Because it's only been a few hours.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna keep it running then, and that's about it. And then
Are you setting up an alert if he shows up?
Yeah, absolutely. If he shows up, I want to set it so that my pad goes off. And okay, there is one other tiny thing that Skylar is starting to do, and this just is sort of a design thing. Now that he has access to Ronan's database, he's going to start working on, because Skylar has designed sort of tech devices and stuff before, and so what he's going to start working on now is a little bit something that maybe he's going to start doing research to see if he can figure out something that might help MetaWarp control her powers. Something that might be that she can carry around with her or something.
I mean, with access to Ronan's database, and you start looking into it and stuff, you can see that there's a couple of files which, while don't actually tell you anything, it would seem to indicate that it is an area which Ronan has looked into, and there's references to other files which belong to Moore's database.
Okay. So just like we have that, so it's just sort of like cross-reference, and then we'll start looking into that, and probably stay up a bit later than I'm supposed to, because this is the thing.
The impression you get is that
both he and I do.
He's trying to be helpful, but hasn't said anything because nothing's come of it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to just start doing some independent research on my own then on sort of how to sort of figure this out. But that's for the near future.
Okay. So following morning, you all wake up. The night takes you. You wake up a little later than you normally would because you had a busy night the night before. Plus, then there was all the various emotions and various other bits and pieces to deal with after that. Leading to sleeping in a bit. When you wake up, you go out of the subway carriage and you can see that Ronan is there, sitting in the med bay, reading a book.
Was she all right?
Oh, she's fine. I just figured somebody should be here when she wakes up. And you guys have plans.
Oh, so Magna Carta's still asleep.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll just take the note that she had left that said food and Gatorade in fridge.
Yep.
Ronan will be in touch. She'll just take the note that she had left, crumple it up, and toss it. You want some coffee, Dad?
You know what? I shouldn't. I'm gonna be good.
You need to sleep too. And she'll kiss his cheek.
Oh no, he left last night. He left last night.
Okay.
He's just here early.
Ah, okay. Then she'll just bring him some breakfast, which is, I mean, her breakfast, which is cold pizza.
Okay, I'm being good with the coffee, so I'll have the pizza.
All right. And then she'll just kind of hang out. She'll join him. She's not. I don't think there's any conversation between the two of them. It's just breakfast with their dad.
Okay. Anything anybody else wants to do?
I do my usual morning routine of wake up really, really early, exercise, train, and then I contact more.
Okay. Video call or just audio?
I do a video call from my phone.
Okay, he comes up on the display. Hello.
Morning. Just to let you know what happened. I'm certain you probably heard what went down last night with Mika.
Oh yeah.
Can you do me a favor?
That depends.
It's just one favor. I don't ask for anything.
Listen, I'm not going to say yes before I hear what it is.
Do your magic and just put some spin on this, please. Because
I think the best I can do is to make it so it's not a complete train wreck.
It's better than nothing.
I've already tried to limit the reach.
Can your PR get to them?
You see, here's the problem, okay? With the followings, etc., it's not going to have the things. If I start putting my PR department on it, the PR of a multinational, multi-billion-dollar industry, onto something which may go completely unnoticed, that's going to make it noticed.
This is true.
Okay.
All right.
I've already, phoned up some contacts, etc., etc. So none of the big news organizations are going to take it seriously.
Right.
If it blows up, I'll step in. But until then, I think it's best if I leave it as it is. Anything I do right now will make it worse. Faster.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, I do have some advice. Another question to you.
Go for it.
How should I really handle this situation then? Because I know you've been kind of quiet because you're just doing your usual, hey, look at me, I'm more. I'm peeing my hands off because I want Zeke to learn the lesson by throwing him out the nest and hoping he falls, then gets back up and flies on his own kind of thing.
No, it's more a case of every time I try and tell you something. You
do the
exact damn opposite.
Yeah, that's true because I hate your guts. But hypothetically, if I weren't going to do that, what would I do?
Okay.
And I would like to use my move, Fireside Chat.
Are you talking about the situation with Mika?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I really need to adjust this so I've got bookmarks.
So it says, when I seek advice from my mentor, I roll plus the label they represent. They embody, which is superior.
Yep. Okay, so roll superior. Only the second roll of the night.
I know we didn't have many rolls tonight. There we go. Superior is plus superior. That is +3.
Wow.
Oof.
Oh, wow. That's like the lowest I could have ever rolled.
So your roll wasn't quite as successful as mine?
Oof. That's the lowest I could possibly roll for it.
5 is the lowest.
Yeah.
Oof.
So
you could use team selfishly.
Well,
if it's important to you. I mean, that's technically a mechanic.
Would have consequences though.
Yeah, that's the thing is he wouldn't use team for this though.
Yeah.
Okay.
In which case, you see a flashing red light come off in the back. In the background, you can see a light going off, and etc. He just looks up to you and goes, "Sorry, Zeke. I'll get back to you later." Click. He goes off.
Right. Back to me later.
And what do I make you mark? That is the question.
You can have Insecure back now that he cleared it.
No, I think, being ghosted by Moore and the relationship you've got with him, it's going to have to be angry.
Okay. When that happens, he just gets furious because this is the first time he has ever actually willingly reached out to Moore for advice, and they were almost on that same page about it, and he turns around and his armor just forms right over his hand alone, and he just punches that clear plexiglass in a
fortunately it's been built to withstand that. If it hit somewhere else in the station, it probably would have caused some damage, but
yeah, I mean, I don't think it's definitely something like that, probably because it doesn't cause damage.
Yeah.
It doesn't clear his condition, but he has it now. He definitely has the anchor condition.
Yep. No, I'm just saying, because you hit that, if you'd hit somewhere else, it probably would have left a mark, but which isn't necessarily the same as enough damage to clear angry.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all heading over to the car park, yes? How are you getting there?
I guess we'll use the bike.
Nobody's seen Mika yet this morning.
Yeah, Puck is going to go check in on Mika. Puck is going to bring cold pizza and a cup of coffee.
I think they're so tired, they're probably actually snoring.
Knock, knock, Mika, honey. Time to get up. We got to go.
5 more minutes, Mom.
Sorry, honey. I brought you food and coffee.
But I need 5 more minutes. I can be late to first period. Actually, Mika wouldn't know. I need 5 more minutes before you torture me with training.
Puck just opens the door, gently puts the pizza and the coffee down, just kind of gently pats Mika's shoulder. It's like, come on, Mika, honey. We gotta go. We gotta go find those kids.
Oh, yeah. I think I was more tired than I thought I was.
I know. You're lucky we were able to get you some good sleep.
I mean, I'm surprised that punching bag is still hanging from the ceiling.
Well, it is more tech, so who knows?
Maybe it's not hanging from the ceiling at all.
Maybe. Maybe it's magnetic. Maybe it's just attached by magnets. Who knows how those things work?
I don't really care. It's more.
Magnets, how do they work?
Well, eat up, drink up, get suited up, and we're gonna head out.
She will pull down her wrist to the bracelet she's always wearing that her suit comes out of. And it's like black and blue swirls. Like aqua blue and black swirls. I'm ready to go. I just have to wake up.
That's what the food and cough is for. Get that in your system. Come on.
Food is overrated. I'll eat when I'm dead.
No, honey, you gotta eat. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Can't do jack shit in an empty stomach.
I do plenty of shit on an empty stomach.
Then you need to get that checked out. Eat up, hon.
I think she takes 2 bites, downs the coffee, and is ready to go.
No, all the way down to the crust. Come on, eat up.
Don't we have kids to save?
Yes, and you can eat it on the bike. Come on, let's go.
Oh, do you think I'm letting anyone else drive that bike? I can't drive a bike one-handed.
Then hurry up.
Fine. Hi, guys. Puck has made sure I'm fed and watered.
I just want to say Skylar totally drives his bike one-handed while eating pizza. If he ends up in a driver's position.
That's hilarious. I thought we had a sidecar for Skylar.
Yeah, that's probably more like where he ends up.
I think because Skylar rode the bike yesterday, so he had to get used to it. So I think Skylar gets up on the bike and then just Chris, without a word, just swings up behind him.
Okay.
Yeah, Puck.
Anyone standing in front of him sees him kind of like smile for a second, but just for, and then he kind of shakes it off and he goes, yeah.
Yep, Puck is sliding up behind Phobos and just putting their hands on his thighs and positioning themselves behind him. For once, they're wearing pants and somewhat sensible shoes.
This is the only time for the first 6 episodes we're ever gonna see that.
Yup.
You really can't tell his expression because he's already in full armor.
Oh, before we suit up, Moore mentioned something about suits for all of us.
What?
I, for one, don't want any more tech anywhere near me, unless maybe it makes me bulletproof.
I'll take it if it's got bulletproof, but honestly, I think my sense of fashion is just fine. As they're wearing a crop top that says "baby slut" with a fishnet shirt underneath it, and tie-dye pants that they made themselves.
But
They're carrying this through the comms. Just looks over at Puck and gives a thumbs up.
I probably should have told you all last night, but I kind of was in a mood, so I apologize.
We all had a night, understandable. If we're gonna go,
I mean, this is the first thing that my mom actually told me she wanted me dead, in a not that joking I'm a little shit, she wants me dead, I'm a little shit, she really means she wants me dead.
Well, if Moore has something for us, we have time to swing by there and then head over to the car depot. How's that sound?
I mean, it's up to you guys. He said we could take it or leave it. It's up to the group.
And we can't exactly just roll up like this. We're going to have to park somewhere and kind of...
I mean, we probably can roll up.
Oh, Phobos would know how to get into Moore Tower without being noticed.
No, I meant at the old hospital site and park.
All right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We can't exactly just roll up like this.
I mean, that's... Yeah. I was like, more tech? This is more tech, for God's sake.
More tech.
No, stop.
So do you want to go to more tech first before we go to the car park?
We're a team, so whatever the team decides.
I'm happy to go either way.
I'm indifferent.
Yeah, it's not like we've got an appointment with the bad guys.
That's very true. All right,
Yep,
let's go.
Let's go.
So this time when the ramp for the motorcycles come out, so what you see is a little kid trying to like waiting to get some ice cream from an ice cream vendor. And the ice cream vendor's like cart gets flung up into the air. The kid just stares at it like, and in slow motion, you see the bikes fly over the kid's head, and the kid's like, and the ice cream vendor comes flying back down, crashes back down next to the kid, and like he holds his hand out, and a cone lands in the kid's hand, and like 3 ice cream scoops land on top of the cone.
I love it.
Cool. Okay, so you head to Mortec. You find out that Moore is dealing with a potential break-in at one of the R&D labs in Mortec, which is is probably where that alarm was coming from earlier. But he has somebody that you know in the industry who is basically in charge of not the suits themselves, but he's the one that builds the Under Armour and does all that sort of stuff.
I'd like to think that this is probably the person Zeke actually likes.
Yeah,
like,
you got a pretty good relationship with him.
Yeah, because like they helped Zeke make his armor. Especially when he was trying to differentiate himself from Moore, this is the person that he's like kind of like the Alfred,
Yeah,
he's like their Alfred,
Well, he's more Lucius Fox.
Yeah. He's like one part Alfred, one part Lucius Fox. In that, I know there's a really big divide between these two, and if it wasn't for me, they would have probably stopped talking to each other years ago.
Okay, so he basically shows me, we've been working on a few things. Obviously, everything is open to change based on your feedback. So this is each of these, they're Under Armours mostly. They're basically stuff where you'd be able to wear stuff over the top of them, no problem. It's, I won't say bulletproof, but you're talking high calibers to get through this. It will also help with falling. It will help with it's knife resistant. Generally, the idea of this Under Armour for each of you is to make it so the majority of things that will be thrown at you will not be as deadly as they would otherwise be, while not getting in the way of your abilities or being, huge clunky bits of armor.
Question for you. Is mine waterproof? Like, is there electrical components in this?
All of these have been made with your commonly known abilities in mind. If you have abilities we don't know about, obviously we can't do stuff. So yes, yours will completely work with your water generation abilities.
I would just hate to ruin like all your hard work. Also, you're more tolerable than Mr. Moore, so thanks for being awesome. Oh, sorry,
It's not the
Mr.
first
Moore,
time
you're
I've heard
awesome.
someone said that. So this is what we've got so far. I mean, he just opens one at random and he goes, Puck, you're one. I got the impression you like to make a statement.
How'd you know?
He kind of gestures.
Puck just laughs.
So I came up with something interesting. You wear this under what you would otherwise wear, and when you activate it, it will pull your regular clothing in while maintaining the color scheme that was there. So you'll have an underlayer which is a really dark gray, but if you're wearing, like for example, that t-shirt, that lovely typography will remain across the chest.
I could kiss you right now.
And the fishnet pattern would remain as well.
This is the best news I've heard all week.
Like, Please actually wear clothes with it. Don't like Emperor's New Groove it.
You mean Emperor's New Clothes? I'm not turning into a
yes.
llama, honey.
Well, don't do that either.
Funny enough, we did have a hero one day that could have done that.
They could shape into llamas or all animals. Because I feel like that's like the worst superpower ever.
I don't know.
Have you
I
ever
can
seen
think
a
of it
llama
being quite
spit?
handy.
I mean, okay. That's fair.
Have you seen the
Okay.
teeth?
Ezekiel, you've already got yours. If you want upgrades, you always know to come to me with any upgrades you want.
Oh, right. I believe me, I wasn't expecting to get one today.
Yes. Okay. Black Raven, like I said, this is made to emulate the look that your one has been doing, except it looks slightly more translucent. If you were underwater in this Under Armour, you will all but disappear.
No, I'm all for usually saying fuck
You won't.
war, but he's kind of he's winning some.
Oh, he has no idea what I'm putting into these suits.
Oh, this is 100%. I like Ezekiel just goes like, no, this is all him.
He told me to make you suits. He didn't give me any direction of what to do with them.
I want to go in my suit now.
It won't fool any technological sensors or sonar or anything like that. It is purely a visual thing.
I mean, you didn't lie when you said it was waterproof. I just didn't expect it to the extent that that I could like go scuba diving in it.
Metal, I'm afraid I didn't manage to do anything particularly fancy with it because I needed to make it so it wouldn't burn up to your power.
Yeah, it's an issue.
The cool thing I did manage to do though is it should if it shows you the thing and you see you've got a little switches here over the glove area. This little thing here should allow you to concentrate your beams slightly more, which will act more as, instead of a concussive blast, more of a laser-like approach. It's not a particularly powerful one, but yeah, say you need to cut a beam in half or something. Instead of blowing it up, you better just cut it.
Right. So from spray to strain. Got it.
Yeah, it's like I said, I need to read the physics some more to understand how your powers work better before I can make some serious upgrades. And I'm sorry I wasn't prepared.
Huh.
I mean,
I've been working on that a little bit. I actually am going to go out and sort of I'll send you some stuff.
Oh, very, very, very cool. Okay, now, don't take this the wrong way, Null. Okay? But the bad Matrix cosplay has to go.
Yes, honey,
Yeah,
I agree.
I was no. You're my best friend, but it's no.
I'm sorry, my grandma has better fashion sense than you.
The other thing that needs to go is you needing quarter of an hour to get ready.
I mean he does have a, hold on, he does have a lot of gadgets. You don't get to pick on my Null like that.
Hey, I'm here to solve problems, not just criticize.
Okay.
So what's the solution? You're gonna give him cargo pants? God forbid.
So here's what I've got for you. He hands you a piece of Under Armour. You see that it is a combination of green and black. And he also hands you, effectively, it's a utility belt.
Ah, nice.
Okay, but it's in the majority of it's black, and you've got kind of like a circuit board kind of diagram. You've got the green lines, and occasionally along the armor you've got little circle points. And he goes, right, the circles on the forearms all bring up various displays. Okay.
Ooh.
This one here will bring up an interface for a holographic computer system, which will be hooked into your the device you carry normally.
I'm actually like
It's just
activating each thing as he's saying it.
Okay, and basically he runs through a few things. Basically,
Yeah.
the stuff that you'd normally have to sit down at a computer and all that stuff, it allows you to access all of it from there.
Ooh.
Now, on the other hand, we've got scanning. You better bring this up, and you'll be able to scan infrared, heat, etc., etc., etc. And you see it brings up a area like this, and you bring it up, and you can see what you see through it in that various spectrums and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Now, this works on a similar concept about drawing whatever you're wearing over it in, so that you can wear it underneath whenever. But it also will extend and give you this. And he basically waits for you to have it on, and press that circle.
Okay.
Okay, it takes your regular clothing and uses this weird nanotech basically thing, and then coming out you see it's a dark green military long, not trench coat, but more the military style jacket.
Yeah.
With a dark green, but it's got black lines similar to the ones that are on the Under Armour with the circles and all that sort of stuff. And then you see this mask in a metallic green can go around like that.
Nice.
That type mask, and then ching, you get black sunglasses type things.
Yes.
That fill that area, and you can see a heads up display and all that
That's
sort of
just
stuff on
wicked
that.
as fuck. That is sick.
I told you Null was more super than the rest of us.
And
I look over at Null, and I go, "Armor buddies."
Totally.
And we go.
And
I
no,
just reach
you can
back
check off that drive.
Yay! And I will actually all I will do is just reach back for the one place unexposed, and I will pull the hood up over the head.
All of your Under Armours and all that sort of stuff. Okay, Phobos, right?
Yeah.
It's so used to calling you Dusk, not your fault. I'm just making sure I got it right. You'll know about this. Each of your armors do have, and you'll see that there's a button for it, and he shows you it's on the other side to what he's showing you thing, which will take your normal color scheme, so all that sort of stuff. And if you press that, it will turn it to, it's between a green and a black. It's effectively a stealth mode. It's a lot harder to pick somebody wearing that color if they're in the shadows out from your normal look. So if you're trying to go somewhere and not be noticed, you might want to use that mode instead.
I do have one question. What protection do these offer from things like bullets, knives, and the like?
It's not 100%, but put it this way: I don't go out doing superheroing. I still worry about getting mugged. I have one of these for that.
That's fair.
Let's just say your mom's crazy and she wants you dead. This is going to make me harder to be dead? Wait, that was a hypothetical. This would make you harder to be dead?
Yes.
Okay.
Generally speaking, the common rigors of being a hero that would cause you damage will be less likely to do so.
Yeah, like the
It does not.
motorcycle helmet.
Yeah, it's if you think about what you see Paladin troops wearing, all of that stuff, it's as effective as that, but 5% the thickness.
Yeah,
they're kind of dumb to not hire you to do R&D for them.
They can't afford it.
They can't afford him, and he's actually a good person.
These Under Armours, each one, you're probably talking, if you include R&D, at least $1 million each.
Holy shit.
Actual physical materials, you're probably talking more between 50,000 and 100,000.
Sweet baby Jesus. I think he's just trying to use his money to buy our favor.
Remind me to talk to you.
I think
at
he's
some point about a
being
Christmas present
successful.
for my dad.
Like Zeke like just looks like he doesn't understand. Like he's like useless because like yeah, I've been wearing like up to like $5,000 of tech on me this whole entire time.
And Chris is like,
your suit. You're talking in the approaching $1 billion.
Yeah,
$1
like so
billion
Zeke's
bucks
like,
worth of research, development, and tech involved.
Chris
some
is
of
aware
us,
of the cost from her dad's outfits, so.
and also you notice that like Zeke is always his suit is always in that dark stealth mode. Like he like
well,
there is
on your one, it takes the shine off a little bit.
yeah, like if he presses it, there is like a non-stealth mode that actually has bright colors. He just refuses to press it.
Well, no,
What an edgelord.
You've got 3 modes. You've got your actual colourful mode, which you never use.
Yeah, he
then
never
you've got the one
uses
that you normally use, but a lot of the metal bits are quite glossy, and then but your stealth mode basically turns that gloss into a matte.
Yeah, I like to think that he put like the normal colors in there just to mess with him. Like they're there. He's like, you're never gonna use it, but they're there.
Yes, and obviously all of these work wirelessly with the other bits of tech that you've got. The masks, phones. They'll hook up wirelessly to Nanny, so Nanny will be able to monitor them and let me know whether anything needs repairing. I can turn them off, and you'll have to tell me now. They will report back various biofeedbacks and all that sort of stuff, which will allow me to alter your suits in the future to work better for you, because everyone's different.
So,
Obviously, if you don't want this, I'll turn it off.
Is it only you that's going to have this material and not Mr. Moore?
Me and my staff. Moore can technically look in on it, but he has never done it in the past.
Forward it to my dad.
that way, for me at least. I mean, you don't have to.
He cares more about results than the details on how he got the results.
Puck is going to glance over to Zeke and just put their hand on his elbow. What do you think, Shay? Should we trust him with this information?
I trust him. He's been more of a father figure to me than Moore ever was. He's been there for me, even though Moore, I learned from him, but this was the guy that pretty much raised me. So I trust him.
Well, then I'm fine with it then.
Yeah, I'm the guy that hid an Xbox in here.
he looks over and was like, right, I trust him. Plus he's actually a pretty cool guy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You guys have, when it comes to heroes when they're starting out, you guys have more of a challenge than most of the heroes have had. So I think it's just right that I spend vast quantity of Malcolm Moore's money making you safer.
You know what? You know how I was cursing Malcolm Moore's name because he's spending all this money on us? I mean, at least he's spending it on us.
That's fair.
I'll let you in on a secret, though. He actually isn't expecting anything in return.
That's actually pretty
Oh, yours is a different story.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I understand.
He's your mentor. Like, get your shit together, Ezekiel.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It just doesn't, my thoughts. My thoughts is he's doing this because he doesn't want to have to explain to the media why you all died.
Fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fair. That is pretty fair.
Can't blame the man for that.
He's got an out for me, especially if it happens at the hand of my mother.
Well, Mika, honey, you were a little bit rude.
I mean, you're going to tell me he's not a jerk?
No, he's an ass, to be fair, but you got to be a little bit
Phobos.
polite.
Phobos even says he's a jerk.
He is a jerk. I mean, this is not something I won't disagree with. I have learned stuff from him, but he's a 100% jerk.
But at the same time, the man is our sugar daddy, so he deserves some level of respect.
I respect him. I don't like him, but I respect him.
I have a hard time respecting rich people, having grown up in the world of rich people.
Mika, honey, you're speaking to the person who grew up on the streets. I absolutely agree with you.
As someone who's worked for him for longer than any of you have been alive, yes, he's a jerk, but he's a good guy. He just makes it incredibly hard. Yeah, exactly. Just like, bad people can be really nice.
Does he wink at Mika?
Not everybody phobos. I've turned.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I've turned to the light side now.
Metawarp has been standing in the shadows to see if she blends in any better with the little function on the outfit compared to her normal grayscale.
It turns from a lighter grey to a darker almost black
Right in.
when you press it. Basically, it's mid-grey range with a little bit of variation in the greys when you don't have the stealth mode.
Oh, no.
Darkness.
Okay. Obviously, my batteries did not charge after last week, and I might need to get new ones.
Oof.
Okay. So anything else I can do?
I feel like this is a good place to stop.
Well, not quite. I need to.
Oh,
There's a certain stopping point, and I'm going to need about another 10 minutes.
Okay.
If that's cool.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
No, we're doing great.
I feel like we're coming to a conclusion point.
We need to hit a good point for the last page of the book.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so you head off. You head off to the car park, and the security is surprisingly light. It's the impression you get from previous information, knowledge, reading on topics is their main form of security is making it look like there's absolutely nothing here. So you've got a couple of security guards which are pretty easy to evade, and you can go into the office or you can try and find the entrance to the bunker. It's pretty much what you've got, or you can start looking through. All the haulage vehicles are all parked up, not in use.
Metawar popped off the bike a couple of blocks back and has just kind of been doing the shadows thing like she normally does to get into the car park, and she's going to be looking around for the entrance down below in the car park. Just from the shadows.
Puck wants to definitely check out the office, at least give it a once over.
Okay.
Phobos is definitely gonna go check out the office, but as they are going towards it, he says, like, under his breath, looking at the area where he saw the suit on the fence, he says, he walks over to that area of the fence and like puts his hand on it, and he says under his breath, "Nanny, silent calm to myself. Scan area and report findings back to me." And he moves his hand and he heads into the building.
Yeah.
Does Puck notice that?
He just like kind of like walks over to the fence and like just like runs his hand along it, and then keeps on going towards the building.
Okay.
I'm scanning for devices and other things through my new ability to do so.
The actual, scans aren't a huge range, but you can do the visions easily. The The entrance to the bunker isn't actually that far from the office. It looks like they've deliberately put the office near where that entrance is. So if you go into the office, you'll see that it is currently shut down. There's nobody in there.
Puck is going to try to break in.
It takes you absolutely no effort whatsoever to pick the lock.
I feel like
I don't like this.
Mika freaks out because it's almost like we're expected to come here. Like my mom has laid a trap for us. Like, guys, we should be careful.
Oh, yeah, honey, this reeks of a trap. I'm a little bit curious. What can I say?
Yeah, but kind of like how you don't want me dead, I don't want you dead.
I know, honey. I'm going to be careful. I got phobos with me. Nothing can go wrong.
Metal Warp would like to assess the situation.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
There are mechanics to
Wait
this.
a minute.
At the office.
This game has
Yeah.
rules.
At
Yeah,
the
Puck
entrance to the bunker. Yes, we're in. We're at the. We're in the office. We found the entrance to the bunker.
Okay.
This is where they want to start with assess the situation.
Okay, so that's superior.
Yeah.
Roll number 3 for the entire session.
That's a 7. So I can ask one. What here is the greatest danger?
So what here is in the greatest danger, or
No,
what is the biggest threat?
What here is the greatest danger?
I'd say the question is actually what is in the greatest danger, and the
Oh,
other one
the
is what is the
threat.
biggest threat.
What is the
Okay.
biggest threat here?
That is that you can see after doing a scan of the above ground, probably the security guards. Your hunch is, though, that if there is something going on here, it's going to be down in the bunkers, and that's where the security is probably going to improve. Ronan's told you that this is a fairly common thing, that they'll make it look like from the outside that it's really nothing important and worth looking at, but as soon as you get past that facade is where the trouble starts.
All right, we've got to do this very, very quiet because we do not want to draw attention. We do not want them to see anything out of the ordinary
Right
here.
Yeah.
So let's
And Puck wants to assess the situation in the office as well.
Okay. Wow.
wow.
+4.
I get taxed too. Plus, I have the
Wait, how do you
criminal mind feat. So,
Oh, that's right.
Sorry.
on a 10 plus,
Wait,
No,
how
nothing
do you
on-
roll a 14? How did you get a 4 modifier?
It's still a 10+. I'm just wondering how you got a +4 on it.
I just put in 2 and it rolled.
Oh, did you put 2 in the modifier bit?
Yeah.
All right, you don't need to do that. It will automatically add your superior. That's if you've got pluses from other things. So you got 12.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. It's cool. It's just that it seems a little bit. Hang on.
Yeah.
Don't roll
Okay,
the
so you
base
get
up.
to ask 2.
Okay. Plus, I have the criminal mind late move, so I get to ask 3 questions in total.
Okay.
Okay, so what here can I use to our advantage?
Okay. You reckon getting a copy of all the files on the computer system here will probably help. It will at least help the prosecutors later, should this end up being a criminal endeavor.
Okay. What here is useful or valuable to me?
Just try to think if there's anything useful in the office. Okay, after looking through, you do find a set of keys.
Puck is going to steal the keys.
Okay.
And how could we best end this quickly?
The best you can think of is to stealthily get into the bunker, have a look round, and then adjust plan from there. If you can get in, get what you don't want, and get out quietly, that is the best way of doing things. Because the problem with a bunker is if things get loud, that's only one exit.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Now something.
Okay. So the front door is literally the only door. That seems insane for someone with.
It's a really large bunker door.
Right, but what I'm saying is there's got to be an escape way, like an emergency exit. I feel like it would be dumb to not have one in a bunker, but
Probably is, but it would be a waste of time to try and look at it. We're here. We should go this way.
We need to just go this way.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So we need to be smart about this.
What is this, Skylar?
I have a thing for when we hit the bunker. I actually have a move about scoping out a place as well.
Yes,
which is straight up creeping.
I love that move.
That's the best name of it too.
Meta warp raises an eyebrow.
When I scope, well, I'm not gonna say I'm creeping, but
does he though?
He's not gonna say he's going.
Okay, so roll plus mundane.
And so when we actually hit it, there's some things I want to look at. I'm looking stuff. This is part of my scanning, right? I shall do that. Oh, hey.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Double 6.
So
Nice.
That is as good as it gets, folks.
Good as it gets.
That is the
The
best.
only
one
way
possible.
you can get a better roll involves either team or having influence over what you're doing it on.
So on a 10 plus, I asked 2 of these questions.
Okay.
We kind of already have best way in or out, so I'm not going to ask that one. I think one of the questions I will ask is, we kind of have an idea whose place this is, sort of. But what I'll ask instead is, what here is worth grabbing? I think that's going to be one of the questions I ask. And I think the other one will be, who or what here is not what they seem.
Okay. Worth grabbing. It occurs to you that if you're going to be trying to do things stealthily, and you might want an escape route, so taking down a fire extinguisher to create a smoke screen might be an idea.
Oh, yeah. Sort of
Like
casually,
a Skylar idea.
casually just sort of grab a fire extinguisher on our way, and if there's one nearby.
And what is not what it seems. Okay, compared this everything, and you're having a look around, you can tell that these vehicles have not been used for hauling goods as they claim. Basically, you find evidence that, you know, the loading bits that go up and down on the back, it looks like none of them have actually gone up and down. They might have been lowered so people can go off back, but they've not, you know, they might have gone like that, but they haven't done that, which is what you'd do with goods.
I'm trying to make sure I understand what it is that you have just
Putting
told me.
2 and 2 together, you think
Yeah.
that, you know, chances are it's people that's being transported in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They just
When-
need to
when you
lower
have-
that thing and they can walk and jump off.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
when you have a transport vehicle, like an 18-wheeler or something, the back will drop down, and then the back will lower to all the way to the ground
Oh,
and then
yeah.
back up.
Like a lift. So basically,
Yeah.
they can take the stuff that's on the truck, put it on
Yeah.
this lift.
It looks
And then
like
lower it
just,
to the ground
back
and roll
just
it off.
opened. Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks like the
so-
back just opened, so people would hop off rather than
Yeah.
back opening up, and then the pneumatic lift lowered down, so goods
Yeah,
rolled
it's
down.
it's been made to look like they're hauling goods. So they've
Okay.
got those lifts on the back.
So I'm just gonna
But those lifts have not been used
Yeah.
to
yeah,
do
yeah.
their job.
Cool. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna over our comms. I'm just like, guys, these things have been used to move people.
So
Pretty sure.
we have official proof then. Puck,
No,
did you
we
grab stuff
don't.
off the computer?
That I did, sure. Don't worry.
And
We
we have actual.
circumstantial evidence. We don't
Yes.
have.
We need physical evidence now.
Well, the only way we're going to get that is if we go into the bunker.
All right,
Meta
let's go.
Warp will open the door and slip through. And
With the skill set of the team, it's really not hard to get into the bunker. The one thing you also managed to do is to tap into the security feed of the CCTV inside the bunker, so you know where the patrols are. There's about a dozen security guards that you can see. Funnily enough, not all the security cameras are on. You only got really security cameras in corridors, so you have no idea what's in the rooms off the corridors. But guiding that, you can move your way down, and you find a large warehouse type thing. Basically, this area looks like it's most of the rooms in this bunker have been set so that they're like large communal areas where lots of people can gather. In case of incoming nuclear missiles. There's also, so one of these large areas, you go in there and you bypass a bit of security, use the right moment, you dart into the room, and looking around the rooms, you can see lots of pods, which roughly, person sized, with tech attached to them. You see about 20 of them.
Puck is going to step up to one of the pods and just tap the screen and see what's up.
Yeah, is there anybody in any of these pods? Can we tell?
Okay, you go over to it, and you look in to the things, and you can see what looks to be a teenage boy.
Does Puck recognize him?
Yeah, this is the one that you gave some cash to not so long ago.
Shit. Is there any way Puck can try to hack into the computer to see what's going on?
Can we
Yep.
assess the situation?
Sure.
As Puck is doing that, Meta Warp will assess the situation.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take much to access the system. All the system is responsible for is monitoring biometrics and administering a drip which keeps the subject unconscious.
But it's definitely not something that's like keeping them alive or anything.
No, it's basically they've been strapped into a bed-like type thing, and they seem to have a drip into their arm, which is keeping them unconscious.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Unless people want to jump in with tea.
That was a miss on the assess the situation, so I've got nothing.
I'm going to throw in a team to help them.
Okay, how are you helping?
All right. As MetaWarp is trying to assess the situation, I'm helping them out by asking for Nanny to pretty much scan the machinery in the warehouse through my visors, through my suit, to help them figure out what's going on here.
Okay, you'll need one more to turn that into a success.
I think I will also throw in a team, if I may.
Yep.
And basically, I'm sort of going up. I'm basically taking pictures of the just at each of the pods and each of the faces real quick as I'm looking at it, and I'm just sort of looking down at the equipment, and I'm like, based on what I'm able to determine, just glancing at these devices and how they've been set up, I'm just sort of communicating to everyone in MetaWarp just a little bit about just what I'm seeing here and what I think it might be connected to.
Okay, so that gets moved up to a 7, so you get to ask a question.
What here can I use to help Puck help these kids?
Okay. You notice that seems to be a container which has medical markings. You've got a feeling that they've probably got the drugs in there that are the reverse effect of the thing keeping them asleep. Something that you better jab them and they'll wake up.
They'll go do that. Bring it to Puck. I think this is the antidote.
Phobos, you know how there's times when you're going around life. This is just a general statement. And you get that it's almost an anxiety thing where you'll instantly look somewhere because you don't know what, but something has registered, potential threat wise, even though there's nothing there.
Sounds like all my life, but go ahead.
Okay. You have that and you look, and right down the other end of this major room, you see what looks to be a shipping container. Okay, but a shipping container size, but it's made out of a solid sheet, not corrugated in any way, shape, or form. It has a singular round door on it with a keypad and lock. Knelt on top of it, looking directly at you, is that robotic figure. As soon as he sees you looking, he just points at what he's sitting on. Next thing you know, it seems to you sort of like blink and he's not there anymore.
I look around to make sure if anyone else saw that. And I make my way over to that crate.
Okay. From a tech standpoint, while you're not particularly proficient at hacking this sort of thing, it seems to be high end, but not military grade lock. So you reckon Puck or Noel will be able to get through this easy?
Puck, I need your help over here. If you're not busy, or no.
I was actually just wondering if I could speak to you myself. They're going to, wiggle the antidote. After we're through here, I was possibly wondering if I could rescue this one. And they're going to jab a thumb at the guy behind them in the container. My mind immediately goes to Han Solo and Carbonite.
Whereas this is more they're just lying down unconscious.
Phobos would just nod, of course. I mean, I feel be a waste if we didn't help anyone. But I need your help over here. I need help hacking into this crate.
Consider it done, Cher. And Puck's going to saunter over and take a crack at the lock.
Okay. This really isn't a test for your skills. You know exactly what because your gadgetry type things are power rather than necessarily purely book learned skills. You tap away at it and it just comes naturally, and you unlock it. You bypass the security and it just unlocks, and the door once it unlocks starts to automatically open up, and you get smoke starts to come out. It's not the white smoke that you expect, like cryo or anything like that, but it's a strange light blue smoke.
Puck is going to grab Phobos and pull him half a step back.
It's got a smell to it, which is almost like a lavender smell. It reminds you of those candles you buy to relax.
I wave the smoke away, trying to see what's behind.
The door opens, and in it you can see that there's lights coming from the back of the container, which is shining through the smoke, which is giving it this weird ethereal quality. And in the smoke, this has grabbed everybody's attention at this point. And as the smoke starts bellowing out, it gets thinner and thinner, and you can see a bit more. And you see, in almost Vitruvian man style, with arms up, legs, things, you see shackled by arms and legs, a silhouette. The shackles you can see have glowing arcane runes on them.
Do we recognize the person, or do I need to assess the
At the moment, it's just a silhouette, and it starts to clear out. And as the silhouette becomes more and more clear, Null
Oh dear.
immediately
Yeah.
it comes known to this. This is Dr. Rana Kovach, aka Dr. Twilight.
I'm just going. I just under my breath. It's barely so that those who can probably hear it. I just say Rana, and I will just just like stunned immediately.
And that was the final panel.
No.
Oh my god.
Woo!
The last panel was Null just going, Rana.
I mean, that's a good place.
You know what's weird? It's like the more we get into Dr. Twilight, if more feels like Dr. Twilight's basically like Batman Doctor Strange.
Kind of, yeah.
or like John Constantine or something.
Yeah, sort of, yeah. It's sort of weird, sort of Constantine.
Oh man,
question
that
type. Yeah.
my heart was racing.
My mom's a jerk.
my heart was racing that whole time. Oh my gosh.
Man.
Woo.
And also,
I mean,
Oh,
I could end
so
the problem
concerned.
with your mom. I mean, family is not blood. Family is those who take
Hey, look,
joy
it's
in
like-
your life.
It's like what Yondu said in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He may be your father,
Be your
but
father,
he
but
ain't
he
your
ain't your daddy.
oh man.
Yeah, but it's the years and years, 16 years of abuse that she's struggling with right now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Puck
true.
knows exactly where she's coming from. Like they've been there, honey.
Nice.
Woo,
And
boy.
it's funny because Chris identifies so much with Mika. On the flip side, they are in the exact same position that Chris is in a way, only they're the flip. They're the flip of Mika. Because they grew up in that family, they were indoctrinated into that family. They had no choice. This is what their life is. This is what their life is going to be. There is no choice. Mika had a choice.
I think the big difference between the two, because yeah, they're right. Yeah, everything was done, and you didn't have much choice in it. But the difference being is with Chris, everything was done to benefit Chris rather
Yeah.
than
To benefit.
with the Hutchinsons. Everything was done to benefit the family, not Mika.
Right.
It's a very Godfather situation.
You notice, like,
Yes,
if
I love it,
if
though.
Mika and Chris weren't the playbooks they are now, Mika would probably be the Scion, and Chris would be the Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if they weren't the playbooks, they would that's what definitely they would be. Like now at this point, now that like we fleshed out like who they are, they could definitely also have been like the Scion and the Legacy.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that, as far as Chris's father goes, is it would have been easy to raise them as their mother's legacy, but they didn't. They allowed them to develop their own self.
Yeah.
There is no they are not Megawatt legacy. They are their own. They are Metawarp.
Whew. So should we do end of session moves?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we'll do it in the normal order, which is alphabetical by playbook. So we start with the beacon.
Okay. I think I think that Null for this session felt like he was growing closer to the team. And there were a few different moments for that. I think that at the beginning, there was he had that with Phobos, and then sort of as things progressed, you sort of had that kind of with. Well, he had that also with Metawarp as well for different reasons. I think that
smooches.
we had well, no, we're just sort of hanging out on the couch. We didn't, you know. So I think because in I think I am actually going to go with Phobos on that one though, because I think in Null's head there's kind of a different thing going on, hopefully, with Metawarp, but you know he's not so he's
Not a team thing.
Yeah, that's not so much a team thing. So so for that then yeah, I'll go ahead and give influence to Phobos once again. I think we lost it last time.
You lost it last week, so I got it back now.
And I'll go ahead and use that to mark potential.
You don't have any conditions to clear this.
No, I just cleared the last one when I got my costume,
Okay.
so he is no longer afraid.
Cool.
Oh, that's your drive. I was trying to figure out what drive you felt.
Yeah.
He's he's like almost a real superhero.
Yes, almost so close, so close.
That's the way Metawarp sees Null is as a real superhero.
Oh.
I mean, if Null didn't have that net launcher, I might have had to roll a new character. Not gonna lie. Like, you don't fall 2 stories out of a window even being a superhero.
That's why Chris sees Null as the superhero. They don't have to be here. They don't have to do this.
I mean, technically, none of us do.
They chose it, and that makes them a superhero.
Yeah, like that's why, like, when Zeke said you're really good at this, is because like Zeke was just picked up off the street. He didn't get a chance to say no. Moore was like, "Hey, you're my sidekick now." Like he was thrust right into the life of a hero, whether he liked it or not. That's why he really admires Skylar, because Skylar decided, like, yeah, I'm gonna be a superhero today, because he didn't have to, but he did it.
Okay, on to Puck.
Okay, as for the end of session moves, Puck definitely felt they grew closer to the team. And it was definitely that whole conversation with Mika in the training room where hearts were bared and they had that long discussion and Mika kind of broke down crying and all that. So, I mean, Mika already has influence, so
I get to shift labels. What are your labels?
Yes. Give me a moment here. My labels are, I have a 0 to freak, 0 to danger, a -1 to savior, 2 to superior, and a 2 to mundane.
I feel like even though you didn't roll for comfort and support, that was clearly comforting and supporting to Mika. So I think you're going to go to +3 in mundane. What is your freak at?
My freak is at 0.
Let's go to -1 to freak.
Okay. And I'm going to mark potential.
Cool. Metal Warp.
So I thought that Null had influence over Metawarp, but they don't. Only Phobos had it before. Metawarp had an influence over Null. So definitely go closer to the team. But I think what did it as far as the team goes is the talk with Mika. Again, the thing with Skylar is on a personal level. On a team level, this was Chris offering to yeah, this was Chris offering to
Murder her
Murder
mother.
her mom. Let's call spades spades. Rip the soul out of my mother.
I mean, it still
remove
counts
this-
getting closer to a team member.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
even
feel like
if
we
it's for
had a
personal
conversation
reasons.
about
Yeah,
good and evil, though.
yeah,
Too.
and that's what it was. It was the conversation of light, dark, and gray. So this sounds so weird. I'm going to give influence to me over Mika, or
So
give
I don't know
Mika
what's-
influence over me.
You know,
Okay.
you know what's funny? I was gonna use that same conversation to grow closer to the team
Go
because
for it.
in
Yeah.
my head, 'cause I'm next, right? I'm the last one. Yeah.
But she's not going to declare conditions. She's going to mark potential, which will fill her potential track and allow
Nice.
her to advance.
Nice.
Okay, I'm just going to say this right now. Clear the
Yeah.
condition if you want.
No, she's got angry. She
I,
wants
I'm
to
just,
stay angry.
I'm just saying it's the whole GM wink, wink. If you want,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
Yeah, she's got angry. She's going to keep angry with the -2 to comfort or support and the -2 to pierce the mask. Neither one of those are important to her. She's going to keep the condition. Sorry.
Okay, so Phobos.
Oh, it's not.
So for him today, he definitely grew into his own image. Because since he's trying to go out of his way. One, he tried to reach out to, because of what happened when he tried to reach out to Moore, and he just shunned him. That kind of like stuck with him. And also he grew into his own image of himself because he's now trying to figure out the mystery behind the robot armor. So that's he's pretty much seeing himself as more so like, yeah, he's a team player, but every now and then he knows he has to be his own hero. And he's like, the labels I'm definitely shifting are danger. I'm shifting danger up 1. And I am bringing savior down 1. Because yeah, he feels like he's trying to do something to prepare himself for something that is going to happen. And he has to be ready for it. But at the same time, he's kind of, actually, no, not savior. My bad. Mundane is what he's bringing down, because yeah, he's preparing himself for something. He knows something big is happening. He doesn't know what this thing is. And now that he saw this thing at the facility, he saw this thing point to the crate that Dr. Twilight was in. He has a lot of questions for this things when he finally gets their hands on it. So he has to be ready. But because I'm bringing down Mundane, because he's keeping
Shit ain't
secrets
normal.
He's keeping secrets from the team now. And he's kind of like a little bit distancing himself.
Pulling a Mika.
Okay,
Like
and that
it's
brings
like
us...
it's like less of a keep secret and I don't want you guys to get hurt. It's more of a secret. It's like, this is my problem that I got to take care of.
Okay, Mika.
We're a team. My turn?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to grow closer to the team. And I never in a million years thought I would give influence to Metawarp, but I'm giving influence to Metawarp. As creeped out as they are with the conversation of, do you want your mom dead? Oh, by the way, I can do that. Feel this weird tug on your soul. It was eye-opening that Metawarp would like trust Mika to be like, yeah, I can do this. Like, I literally could destroy you right now if I wanted, which I guess should be horrifying. But I think Mika said it best. Mika's like, I'm really glad that we're on the same side so that it never would come down to you having to rip my soul out, or there to ever even be a situation where that would happen.
So you can clear a condition or mark potential.
I don't have any conditions, so
Okay.
I'm going to mark potential. And I kind of wish we would have rolled more tonight because I'm stuck one potential away from leveling up again.
Well, which brings us to the last of the end of session stuff. Just because of all the phenomenal RP tonight, everybody mark a potential.
Hot damn.
Aw,
Yay.
thank you, Mole.
Thank you, Mo.
Yay. This was, I feel like, more team bonding than our team bonding episode.
I'll be honest with you. I was sitting there. I was loving every single moment, and I was like, every once in a while, I see the clock, and I'm going, I'm not going to get to that panel, am I?
Yeah.
Sometimes
I-
when the
I felt
RP
that.
comes, the RP comes.
Yeah. I felt that that's
No,
part of the
I-
reason I was
I
trying
loved
to.
it.
I was trying to hold back a little bit because I was like, I know we've got a place that we got a point we're going to need to hit.
Well, no, it's a case of, I'll be honest,
Yeah.
if things had gone differently and you'd gotten to the place a lot sooner and you'd dealt stuff, you might have come
Yeah.
across a few more obstacles to come across
Yeah,
before
yeah.
getting to the
Yeah.
thing. But it also makes sense that this place would be easy if you knew what you were doing, simply because they're trying to keep it off people's radars. The more stuff you do to hide it, the more certain people are going
Yeah.
to pay attention.
Yeah, that's fair. Awesome. Well, this was very cool. I loved the session. And so much of the character interaction. It was glorious.
It was so good.
I think my favorite part was the conversation between Metawarp and Black Raven.
Yeah, that was my favorite part too.
Do you
Really?
want
Yeah.
to kill? That was.
Here I thought, because Kat gave me a heads up. Oh, by the way, Metawarp is gonna go seek out Mika. Here I'm thinking, okay, are they gonna come clean now that they realized who Black Raven was? Nope. Guess not. We're just gonna drop this bomb of, oh, by the way, I'm totally capable of murdering your mother.
Yeah. Just in case, just a thought.
I mean, that was definitely probably my favorite
Yeah,
part
It
too.
was very cool.
Just the RP, because I don't really think Metawarp and Mika really interacted before that point.
No,
Yeah.
they haven't.
No, they haven't. No.
No, not really. That was very cool. So we're gonna go ahead and go around and say our goodbyes. And again, feel free to say favorite moment, which we're kind of all, I think, having a very similar favorite moment. But and any other thoughts about the session and where folks can find you. And again, we will start with Thtrnerd.
Oh, hi. My name's Thtrnerd. Best place to follow me is at my Twitter handle of Thtrnerd221. Because that's where I try to retweet things about games I have going on. Which I'm supposed to be going away this weekend, so I won't have anything on Monday. But then I'll be back here. As for my favorite moment, I feel like this episode was my favorite moment. Like, probably the highlight of the entire first 6 sessions is this campaign, is tonight, at least thus far. Guess it's maybe a little too early to say that for sure. Just the amount of character interaction and really seeing how the characters interact with each other. The only one I wish I would have interacted more with was Phobos. But what I had with everybody else was good.
Awesome. Very cool. So can continue going around. We'll go over to Wally.
Hey, my name is Wally. You can find me on Twitter at Wally132. Let's see. My favorite moment today. Yeah, everything this session was so great. But I think my favorite moment of the session was honestly after the crate opened. I am not even kidding. Mole, my heart was thumping out of my chest waiting for what was coming, because the way you set that up and the way you're having this robotic suit at all of these key points is really making me wonder a lot of things. And like, I think I may know what's happening, but I don't want to accept it because I know you're going to like throw it all to the side and say, nope, this is what's actually happening with this thing. And I really want to know what it is.
I will say that I 100% heart and chest will not change my plan for that person.
Oh, thank you so much, because I have so many theories about this guy.
It is
too.
one of the reveal. I've told guys, I don't know whether I mentioned on stream, it was either in Zoom chats before, post game, or it was in the Discords, that I have a couple of reveals planned that I'm really looking forward to getting to. That's one of them.
Oh man, I cannot wait for this reveal. So this is one of the things that gets me every time like I see it, I get excited. That's why I kind of like had to run that scene of like because he ran into it before. He wants to know where else this thing has been. So yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite moment.
Awesome. Very cool. And did you? I'm sorry. Did you also drop your links or where folks can find you?
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Wally132.
Awesome. All right, and now over to Pepper.
Hello there, folks. You can find me on Twitter at MeBeThem4815. And as for my favorite moment tonight, it would definitely have to be the discussion of gray morality with Mega Warp and Black Raven. Because during their conversation with Mika, Puck was trying to talk about, to relate it into terms that they knew, and they're very happy that MetaWarp was able to talk in terms that understands, They're very happy that Mika was able to provide something that they can't.
I don't think I did a very good job having that conversation, by the way, but that's just me being harsh on myself.
That's very cool. It's very cool. Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm at Clerk of Cord, and I play games on the internet with my friends, like this one. Wow. So, I'll do my favorite moment first, because my favorite moment was that conversation. Although Chris's favorite moment was getting to sit on the couch with Skylar and watch a movie. They've never had that kind of normalcy before. I mean,
Chris was a kid watching a movie.
Yeah, it was, and just kind of being able to have that kind of, when you kind of like somebody and you're still figuring it out, so you can kind of lean into them a little bit. And Jim and I were going back and forth about how Chris was, they'd lean in and put their head on their shoulder, and as they were watching the movie, or just little things like that. And I think that meant a lot to my character. That meant a lot to Chris. But as a player, having that conversation with Mika and doing that with Thtrnerd was just, this character was based a lot in Silver Surfer, and who is probably the most amoral being in media. An amoral being, not that they have no morals, but that they see no good or bad.
What's the right decision in the moment.
I'm being pedantic, but that is where this character came from. That is why you see me in black and white. They exist on a gray scale, and that was what that conversation was all about. And I loved it, and I loved having that conversation. I loved being able to explore that in the terms of one who has been raised to be a hero, one who is raised to be a villain, and where do we meet in the middle? Where do we meet on that continuum?
I think they're probably more alike in their like gray morality than Miko would like to admit. Quite honestly.
I love exploring that. I love exploring that area, that gray. And in terms of D&D, this is not chaotic neutral. This is neutral. This is sliding up and down that scale, and it's a very interesting area to explore. So that was my favorite moment. Where can you find me on the internet? You can find me all over the place. I have a pinned tweet on my page. Tomorrow night I will be playing Masks again at Wandering DM's channel, where I am playing actually the Transform playbook with Chameleon. We are in Toronto. Somebody has opened a portal to hell and let some demons in, and my best friend is doomed.
Yeah, I have to say, Chameleon is equally as socially awkward, but for completely different reasons.
Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So come check that out. If you want to see me playing something completely lighthearted, go over to the Arcana Code, check out the VOD from last night, from Tuesday night's Enigma Syndicate, where I was playing my Eladrin Warlock named Trixie, who, well, she talks like this. It's all stream of consciousness. It's 100 miles an hour. Oh, did I mention you were fat? You're not fat. I didn't say you were fat. No, no, I don't deal. No, it's only a couple of pounds a week. No, I didn't say that. Nope, I don't do that anymore. Nope, Oh, and don't tell my husband I'm pregnant. Did I say I was pregnant? Trixie is one of my favorite headspaces, and I love her dearly. And if you want to see me do something that is not this deep, go check out Trixie on the Arcana Code. And I've taken up too much time, but thank you for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Yay! Awesome. And finally, over to our GM, Mole.
I am Mole at Mole Thulu, with appropriate blackness for the Elder God within. Yes, you can find me at Mole Thulu in most places. Keep an eye on Twitter, because that's where you find details about the other Masks campaign I'm working on. And also, I'm also working on a mini RPG system, which I will work on a bit more and then, start teasing. It's going to be cool. These guys have got a sneak peek into what I've been working on. But, it should be cool, hopefully.
Awesome.
But yeah, my favorite moment tonight, all the RP moments between everyone, but I'll just say the one tiny, just if you wanted to pick out, just a second, it would have been Puck doing that to Phobos while trying to watch the movie. It's just that small, tiny moment.
He's very passionate about horror movies.
I just completely get it, because I have this annoying habit when I watch things with people, is that I like to guess the twist. The problem is I'm normally right. To the point that if I start to try and guess the twist in things, people that have watched things with me before will tell me to shut up.
I've watched way too many riff tracks in MST3K, so that's the movie viewing experience with me.
But I just love that, because I can relate to a certain extent, and I get told to shut up while I'm watching stuff a lot.
Understood. All right. Well, once again, that leaves me. I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at Otherdoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some fiction and games I've been working on, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. On Saturday nights on this channel, we have Invisible Sun, The Edge of Paradox, our campaign of Invisible Sun that I run. On Sundays, we do one-shots on Sunday afternoons. So the one coming up this Sunday is Medical Bay 3, which is about basically human doctors in space working on alien patients. It's a science fiction medical drama we're going to take a stab at. On Sunday evenings, we have our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw, which is basically Ghosts of Saltmarsh in space. A lot of space happening this Sunday. And then on
space.
Much space. All the space ever. And then on Tuesdays, this coming Tuesday will be the finale of our mini campaign this month that we're doing, Apocalypse World, which is where all of the Powered by the Apocalypse games come from. They're out in the wastes, and they've had to deal with the Iron Abbot and a bunch of military gang from the armory, and now they must deal with dancing scientists next week. So we'll next time for their finale, and I think things are going to get quite interesting there as well. There's a power grab over the psychic maelstrom itself. And then, of course, Wednesday night, 1 week from tonight, we will have more masks. As
the penultimate episode.
Potentially, we'll see.
Maybe.
Yes,
Volume 2. It's Volume 2.
There is an option to... There's an option to continue this season into an additional number of episodes. We'll see. We're going to have that conversation after we go offline here.
I'm not sure I'm going to fit Volume 1 story into 2 sessions left. There's been a lot.
And then there are logistic issues to consider. So we're going to have a conversation about that after we go offline here. But then also, sign-ups are open now for Las Vegas, which is going to be the short campaign next month. That is actually a tight narrative, sort of surreal short campaign meant to last 4 sessions with round-robin GMing. So anyone who signs up for this also will run a session, probably. So that's where we're trying it out, hopefully. And I just opened signups for that you can get to. And soon I'm going to be opening signups for Flat Pack, which will be one of the one-shots for next month. Which is about a hopeful apocalypse, basically, trying to rebuild the world, fix the future. So in order to get at any of those, and Flatback when it shows up in Las Vegas, which is there now, you just go down below to RPG sign up, or go to JimYesThatJim.com and click on Game Sign Up, and then basically that's where you go for it. As always, beginners are more than welcome. Well, when we hit the end card, we are going to do a raid over to Little Red Dot, who is got a finale going on, it looks like. Futuristical Flash, Teens in Space. And so we're going to go over there and say hi. Feel free, if you wish, to hang on and say hi to them with us. That will be, again, when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week. Farewell.